wild roller coaster ride of peaks and valleys for Wayne Gretzky over the past year. In the Cardinal-like atmosphere of the 89 playoffs, 99 reached new heights of excitement and achievement, leading the Kings to a comeback victory over his former teammates and defending Stanley Cup champions. Early this season, another merry-go-round with the Oilers, as Gretzky surpassed his idol, Gordie Howe, on the all-time scoring list. In late March, Gretzky's season came off the rails with a back injury that sidelined him for 2 weeks and 2 playoff games. But Wayne came back for another adrenaline-pumping victory as the Kings dethroned the Flames in round 1. The joyride could come to a screeching halt tonight in Game 4 of the Smythe Final.
Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Howell's in front of the net. Scores! 2-0 for St. Louis.
Back it comes to Sheen, shooting. Vernon kicks out a rebound. They score!
Curry in for Lamb. Lamb going to the back and scores!
Forson behind the net, Struglen. They score! 2 years ago, the Stanley Cup Final featured Boston and Edmonton. Wayne Gretzky led the Oilers to a 4-game sweep in their 4th Stanley Cup in 5 years. Gretzky's now a King, but the Oilers and Bruins could be on a Stanley Cup collision course again. Last night, the Adams Final moved to Montreal. John Carter scored twice in a 6-3 Bruin victory, pushing the Canadiens to the brink of elimination. 2 nights ago in Los Angeles, the Oilers spotted the Kings a 3-1 first-period lead, but Craig Simpson scored twice, and after Peter Klima tied it, Reijo Ruotsalainen scored from behind the net to leave the Kings behind 3-0 in the series. Tonight, it's Game 4 from the Great Western Forum on Hockey Night in Canada.
Brought to you by Molson X-Force. Nothing halfway about it. X says it all. By Ford of Canada, where quality is more than a commitment. Quality is job one. By Esso, going that extra mile. And by Pepsi, it's got what it takes.
Fans of the Great Western Forum have witnessed the elimination of the defending Stanley Cup champions the past 2 years, but hope their team won't be swept to the Smythe Final for the 2nd straight season. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. It's Game 4 of the Smythe Final as this Great Western Forum crowd greets the Los Angeles Kings. But as if the news hasn't been bad enough for the Kings, it has just been confirmed that Wayne Gretzky is not among the Kings skating out onto the ice tonight. Gretzky is out. The recurring back problems caused by the Steve Smith hit in Game 3. Gretzky didn't take the skate. He has a bruised back and will not play tonight. So Los Angeles must find the winning formula without number 99. They've outshot the Oilers in the first 3 games of this series, but Bill Ranford has outshone all 3 Kings goaltenders. So we could be on the verge of another Smythe Division final sweep, and that has become commonplace in recent years. The last 3 Stanley Cup champions have come from the Smythe Division after winning the divisional final in 4 straight games. So Wayne Gretzky is out tonight. There is an array of good news for the Kings. Kelly Rudy will go back in goal after missing Game 3. With their thoughts, let's go upstairs and join Don Whitman and John Garrett.
Thanks, Chris. Hi, everybody. It goes without saying, John, there is no compensation for the loss of a player the caliber of Wayne Gretzky, but NHL rules stipulate that the Kings must play Game 4. What do they do?
Well, you look at the way they reacted against the Calgary Flames. First 2 games without Gretzky, they played 2 strong games. Guys like Luc Robitaille and Todd Allen came to the front. They'll have to do it again here in Game 4.
Gretzky was initially hurt on March the 22nd. He was hurt again in the first game of the series, then on Sunday in the first period. He was taken heavily into the boards by Steve Smith, and he said he felt worse after this hit than he did when the injury initially occurred.
When Smith originally grabbed him, he thought it was Rayo Ruotsalainen, so he wasn't prepared for the hit, and you can see his back, you can see him in pain, and yet he played 2 strong periods after that. Good credit to Wayne Gretzky.
Amidst all the doom and gloom, there is some good news. Kelly Hrudey returns in goal.
And he is a star-type goaltender. He can bounce back. He wanted to play Game 3. He was upset at his coach. He wants to come up large here in Game 4 of this series.
Well, he'll have to come up extremely large in this 4th game tonight. Game 4 of the Smythe Division Final continues as the Stanley Cup playoff chase resumes after this message.
Welcome back to the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California, as the tradition continues on Hockey Night in Canada, and so does the Stanley Cup chase. Last night in Montreal and Landover, Maryland, Bruins beat the Canadiens 6-3. They could sweep Montreal for the first time in 61 years. John Druce, the story for the Capitals, 2 goals, 2 assists, as Washington blasted the Rangers 7-1 for the lead in the Patrick Final. Tonight, it's the 4th game of the Norris Division Final from St. Louis. The first period was scoreless, and the Blackhawks opened things up in the second period. Wayne Presley has been quite a story. Here, he fakes once and then unloads the slap shot that beats Vincent Riendo. Presley had just 6 goals all regular season. He has 7 in the playoffs. And the Hawk fans did more celebrating 36 seconds later. Adam Creighton shovels it in front of the goal, and Michel Goulet picks up the loose puck and just taps it past Riendo quickly. 2-0 for the Blackhawks early second period. Midway through the period, great play by Rod Brindamore. What a story he's been against the Hawks. 3 goals in 4 games. He went end-to-end there to beat Ed Belfour, who is in goal for Chicago tonight. Greg Millen is not in the lineup. Jocelyn Lemieux took a high stick from Brett Hull. Lemieux bleeding and Hull out of the game, so the top scorer in the Stanley Cup playoffs will miss the rest of Game 4 tonight in St. Louis. And that meant a power play for Chicago. Denny Savard starts it back to Trent Yanni, and Yanni's blast gets past Riendo, and it's 3-1 after 2 periods in St. Louis. Now upstairs to Don and John.
Well, the Los Angeles Kings attempting to become just the 3rd team in National Hockey League history to come back from a 3-0 deficit. Ron Hogarth will referee tonight's game with Gord Brosiker and Kevin Collins on the line. Bill Ranford will start in goal for Edmonton and will try and stretch his winning streak to 7 games. Kelly Hrudey, who missed Game 3 because of a rib injury, will be back in goal for the Los Angeles Kings. But the big news, Wayne Gretzky is not in the lineup. Randy Gregg is missing from the lineup of the Edmonton Oilers. First shot on goal by Yari Curry as Kelly Hrudey makes the save.
Number of scratches for both teams tonight. You see Randy Gregg getting a rest more than anything else. His leg acting up a little bit. And the big one for the LA Kings, Wayne Gretzky. But you reflect on the games that the LA Kings played in Calgary, games 1 and 2, both strong team-style games, and they've been lacking that in this series against Edmonton.
Mike Allison is dressed for the first time in the series for Los Angeles. From the face-off, Messier attempted to whack it at the net. Long shot from the point by Steve Smith. It's blocked, and back comes Los Angeles, led by Krushelnyski. Kasper's driving for the net, but the puck is taken away from Krushelnyski by Steve Smith. He gets it back again behind the goal, flips it to the line and out. Jeff Smith in the lineup tonight for Edmonton, replacing Randy Gregg. Simpson looking for Anderson. Anderson was tied up, couldn't get a shot away. And back after it into the center ice area is Ruotsalainen. We're approaching the 1-minute mark of the opening period. Steve Smith couldn't control that puck, and Bill Ranford is forced to stop it against the forechecking of the Los Angeles Kings. The Kings lineup really hurting coming into this game. Thomas Sandstrom was something of a question mark because of a broken little finger. You say there's a touch of irony in that the Los Angeles Kings, without number 99, have registered 99 shots on goal through the first 3 games, but they've only scored 5 goals. So they are operating at about 5% as far as their chances go, while the Oilers have scored on 27% of their chances. And there's the man not in uniform tonight, and the big story at the Forum in Los Angeles.
He doesn't look too happy about sitting out. Yesterday he was still questionable, but he said his back felt worse than it did after that original injury.
Los Angeles trying to move it up along the boards and out, and they succeed. Jeff Smith fires it right back in. He's partnered with Charlie Huddy. Normally Huddy is out there with Randy Gray. Huddy pinched in from the point. Murphy gets it cross ice to Jelena. Jelena is taken in against the boards. Graves controls for Edmonton. He leaves it there for Jelena. Steve Casper gets back into the play. He comes up with it for Los Angeles. Loses it. It comes back to the line, is intercepted, and the Kings bring it out into the center ice area, but there's a penalty coming up against the Edmonton Oilers with 1:56 gone in the opening period. So an early power play for the Los Angeles Kings.
Joe Murphy gets a holding penalty at 1:56, and we were wondering out loud whether John Tonelli was injured or not. He wasn't playing his feisty style, and here he draws a penalty, gets Murphy to reach around, haul him down, and Murphy gets a holding penalty.
So the Los Angeles Kings get the first power play of the hockey game, but their power play has been very ineffective against the outstanding penalty killing of the Oilers.
And the Oilers have been getting some shorthanded chances, and the Kings haven't been able to set up in the Edmonton zone, and that's where their power play is most effective.
Messier steals. Messier is checked as he attempted to move in by Duchesne. Duchesne cuts right in front of his own net, and Craig McTavish took a swipe at the puck, and it wound up bouncing off the side of the Los Angeles goal. Duchesne did not have a great game in Game 3 Sunday night. He was on the ice for all 4 second period goals by the Edmonton Oilers as they erased a 3-1 deficit. Here's McTavish stealing it and breaking out with Messier. Messier on the backhand tries to shovel it in front of the net. It's poked to the boards by Rudy. Kept in by McTavish. Messier takes a hit in the corner. The puck comes up to the line to Granato. Granato, long pass, trying to bounce it through to Sandstrom, but it went too far for him. Fired up along the boards by Smith, but not out. Sandstrom keeps it in. Backhand shot by Alec, and the save by Bill Ranford.
Good chance for Alec, but Ranford stayed on his feet well. He's playing with such confidence. Just stood there and let the puck hit him.
Sandstrom to Alec, a shot, the save. Big rebound, and Tikkanen fires it down the ice.
A good chance for the LA Kings as the Oilers turned it over at the blue line. We're in the middle of a line change, and the Kings had a good chance.
This is where they'll really miss Gretzky. Ranford almost fanned as he took a swipe at that rolling puck, trying to fire it out across the blue line. And that's something you'll see Bill Ranford do when he is playing well. Bounce that puck up on his catching net.
Look at the penalty killing of the Edmonton Oilers. Only 1 goal against the last 5 games. A couple of shorthanded goals in that span. And it really starts with Messier and McTavish and then goes with Curry and Tikkanen. Those 4 are real keys to the Edmonton penalty killing. Here's a chance. Now watch Alec just slides it, but look at Ranford. Stays on his feet. Perfect position if there is a rebound. And Billy Ranford is on a roll.
30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Murphy. Back at the line. Marty McSorley dumps it to Robitaille. Robitaille tried to slide it to the front of the net, and Ranford is there again to cover up with Alec looking for that loose puck. Okie Reddick has been relegated to a backup role by the Oilers in the playoffs. He saw just over a minute of playing time in Game 2 against the Los Angeles Kings.
That was after Jay Miller took a run at Bill Ranford, and they wanted to get Ranford out to cool off, and Pokey has a perfect save percentage. Stopped the 1 shot that was fired his way.
Kevin Lowe bangs it off the boards for Lamb. 13 seconds left in the penalty. Lamb coming in against McSorley, managed to get a shot away and then is tied up by the Edmonton defenseman. Alec starts out for the Kings. He gains the line, but his rink-wide pass broken up. Out of the penalty box is Murphy, and he couldn't handle the lead pass, or he was in alone. Lamb fires it back of the goal. 15:50 remaining in the opening period. It's scoreless here at the Forum in Los Angeles. The Kings must win if they hope to prolong their playoff life. And the Edmonton Oilers, of course, looking to make it a 4-game sweep and then await the winner of Chicago-St. Louis. Messier gets it across ice to the point. Ruotsalainen with a shot right on. Rudy a big save. Rudy was screened, but managed to get that leg out to knock down the point shot by Reijo Ruotsalainen.
That chance that Murphy just missed, the same type situation in Game 3, and Adam Graves scored the winning goal, where the goaltender's banging his stick on the ice, and the LA Kings defense don't react.
Simpson to Messier, scores! Craig Simpson got it across to Mark Messier, and he let it go quickly. Rudy had no chance. It's 1-0 Edmonton.
Defenseman, even if you're an offensive defenseman, you can't watch the puck. Now watch Simpson on Steve Duchesne. Right through his feet around him. And this sets up Messier coming in. Messier, no problems, beating Mike Allison. But that was set up with Craig Simpson. The cute move off his feet. And in comes Messier. Full head of steam, quick shot, no chance for Kelly Rudy.
So it's 1-0 Edmonton on the Mark Messier goal. Whistle on the play as it was dumped down into the Los Angeles zone. It was gloved ahead. 15 minutes exactly remaining in the opening period.
Everyone's screaming about incentives. Fair enough. We also offer a choice of 10.9% financing or $750 cash back on Tempo and Topaz, two of Canada's best sellers. But for $12,295, you also get a host of features, like air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, and automatic. Not to mention the most important feature of all, quality.
Goal at 4:57 by Mark Messier, his 5th of the playoffs from Simpson and Anderson. Casper leaves it along the board. Long shot by Crowder, the save. Crowder trying to move in front. He's checked. And back come the Oilers. And a whistle on the play. It's called on the offside.
Mark Messier with a point a game in this series. It's really hard to hear the whistles at the Great Western Forum. And Mark Messier has been such a dominant force for the Edmonton Oilers, killing penalties, power plays. Now watch Craig Simpson. Off his feet, back to Messier, and Messier just goes right by Mike Allison to get the shot away. And that's Mike Allison thrown in. He hasn't played the whole series. Naturally, his timing's not going to be great. He did spot Messier, and Messier gets a chance.
Well, the Kings were hoping to get off to a good first period start, and it is Edmonton scoring the first goal of the hockey game. Klima is checked. Tony Granato can't get out. Charlie Huddy fires it back to the net. Buchberger checked there by Robinson, still gets it back to the point. All Charlie Huddy can do is backhanded along the boards looking for Buchberger. He's having problems in the corner. Charlie Huddy at the point manages to keep in another clearing attempt. Finally, it's picked up by the Kings, ahead to Sandstrom. Sandstrom with Granato going for the net, but Charlie Huddy is back there, tried to clear and put it over the glass, out of play. Charlie Huddy has had a strong playoff series for the Edmonton Oilers.
We've shared good times together as the days gave way to years. My friends and me, my family, the laughter and the tears. We live life like we need it. That's always been our call. It says it all.
Well, the Oilers Oilers have dominated the second and third periods, particularly the second, where the Kings have yet to score a goal.
You look at the LA Kings, they got those 3 goals in the game 3 here in the first period the other night when they outshot the Edmonton Oilers 13-1. It could have been a lot more. They had so many chances, but just couldn't beat Bill Ranford.
And a lot of people were second-guessing Coach Tom Webster on his decision to start Ron Scott in Game 3 ahead of Mario Gosselin.
Or even ahead of Kelly Rudy.
Long shot right on. Ranford makes the save. Tonelli keeps it in. Centering attempt hit the post. That deflected and hit the post. Came out the other side behind Ranford. 13:37 remaining in the period. At the line, there's a blast by Halkitis right on. And Ranford with the save as Curry starts away for Tikkanen. Back to Curry. Curry in the slot. Shot by Lowe up high. It was a weak one, and it's gloved and held by Kelly Rudy.
And Bill Ranford's been on a roll, and he's been lucky some nights. He had 2 goal posts in period 1 of Game 3. Keith Crowder gets a chance here, and that's what the Kings need, some of their non-goal scorers to come through. Here's the shot off Crowder and off the post right back, and Ranford was fortunate it didn't hit him in the back and go in. And then Halkitis just lets it go. There's Ranford, kicks it by everybody else, clears the zone.
On the bench, assistant coach Rick Wilson talking with Halkitis. 13:20 the time remaining in the first period. 1-0 the Oilers leading, trying to sweep this Smythe final. Trying to duplicate their effort of 2 years ago and what the Calgary Flames did to the Kings last year. Duchesne being pressured behind his own net. Simpson's centering attempt goes off a skate. Kept in the zone. Back comes Los Angeles. Robitaille to the line. A shot by Duchesne. And that just went past the corner. Robitaille battling in there. Tonelli trying to help out. Smith kicks it free to Ruotsalainen. Ruotsalainen off the boards and out of the zone. Robinson leaves it there for Robitaille. Robitaille lets the shot go right on. Big rebound. And it's dumped down the ice, and it hit the linesman and deflected into the Edmonton box with 12:31 remaining in the opening period. Edmonton ahead by 1.
Sure, we'd like to invest. But with what? I mean, we don't have $10,000 to put into something. Besides, we don't even know the first thing about investing. Well, what's an investment company going to do for us? You know we need to invest. Question is where?
In the third period in St. Louis, the Blues trail Chicago 3-1, but have a power play. They lead the series 2-1.
And it's 1-0 here at the Great Western Forum. Mark Messier scoring at 4:57 of this opening period. Simpson and Anderson drawing the assists on the goal. Casper was checked. Charlie Huddy got into the play. They battle for the puck behind the net. Jeff Smith trying to move along the boards with it. And he manages to clear the zone. Simpson, rink-wide pass. Messier couldn't control it. Back come the Kings. They're led by Granato. Rink-wide pass. Krushelnyski tried to get it in front for Sandstrom. He was checked, and it's brought back by Anderson.
Something the Kings didn't do in the first 3 games was drive to the net. And they're doing that pretty well here in the first period.
Moved along the boards to Miller. Miller dumps it down into the Edmonton zone. Ranford initially started off into the corner to try and play it. But instead let his defenseman dump it out of the zone. 11:29 the time left in this opening period. 1-0. Edmonton ahead. Jay Miller dumps it in. Mike Allison playing his first game of this series. Chased it down in the corner, but the Oilers got there first, and they managed to dump it out. Back after it is Larry Robinson. Being watched by Buchberger. Got the pass ahead to Condos. Condos in across the line. Looking in front of the net. Allison driving for the goal. Miller driving in there as well. And they jammed the net, but Ranford managed to keep it out.
This was really a sloppy line change for the Edmonton Oilers. Peter Klima ended up coming on the ice, but he came on about 20 seconds after everybody else, and the Kings driving to the net get a good chance on Bill Ranford. Here's the 3-on-2, and this is set up by the line change or missed line change, and here's Allison driving to the net, top his leg, but Bill Ranford picks it up quickly and gets the whistle. Larry Robinson was talking about the officiating in this series, and he says it's been pretty tough to get a groove because you don't know from shift to shift what is going to be called and what's not going to be called. There's tonight's referee, Ron Hogarth, and you have to feel out every referee, and so far Ron Hogarth hasn't had too much to call here in this game.
9 minutes gone by in the first period here at the Great Western Forum. 1-0, the Oilers lead. The Oilers attempting to sweep this Smythe final. And I'm sure they're hoping that St. Louis and Chicago will go the full 7 games. Give them a bit of a rest before they start the Campbell Conference Final Series against the winner of that one. Kept in by the Kings. Pass for Tonelli. Couldn't get a shot away. Continue the battle in the corner. Crowder is in there along with Buchberger, and the two of them wind up on top of the puck, forcing a face-off in the Edmonton zone.
If you're still sitting on the fence trying to decide whether to get a cellular phone for your business, but you're wondering whether it's worth it, just remember, now more than ever, if you're out of touch, you could be out of business. Come on down to your nearest Bell Cellular Cellular Plus Center. We'll put you in touch for $3 a day. Bell Cellular. Easy come, easy go.
Well, only the injury to Randy Gregg has forced John Muckler to deviate from the lineup that has won 6 games in a row for the Edmonton Oilers.
And it's a good opportunity for John Muckler to give Jeff Smith some playoff experience. They're ahead 3-0 and give Randy Gregg a little rest and get Jeff Smith into the lineup.
There's an opportunity for Murphy. Murphy cutting in, and he was checked just at the last minute, and then he went sliding into the goalpost. That was Benning who managed to get back into the play as Murphy was driving in from the right side.
And Benning made sure that he got the puck first. Watch Benning's stick. He gets the puck first and then takes Murphy's feet out. No penalty called by Ron Hogarth. Kelly Rudy jumped up out of the way. The net didn't go off its magnets there. Strange.
Well, the acquisition of Murphy, Graves, and Klima from the Detroit Red Wings in the Carson trade, according to John Muckler, improved the overall team speed of the Oilers by about 25%.
It's a great situation for Murphy. All of a sudden now he's got that disappointing #1 pick. He's got some chance to be a third-line player and then work himself into the NHL.
Robitaille picks up the pass along the boards. He's having problems with Curry. Still tried to center it, but it was knocked down. Fired back in by the Kings. They'll have to come back to the blue line. There were 3 of them in there to touch up. And the Edmonton Oilers bring it out. Dumped in for Tikkanen. He races into the corner, takes a hit there from Robinson, and the crowd reacts to that move by the veteran rear guard. 9:50, the time left in the opening period. Lamb, tied up by Krushelnyski. Duchesne gets the puck for Los Angeles. He's being watched by Curry. Edmonton forechecking aggressively in the opening period of the hockey game. Krushelnyski's weak shot stopped at the side of the net by Ranford. Kevin Lowe moves it up to Jelena. He dumps it in. Going back after it is Halkitis. Now Kiedis moved it to his defensive partner, Marty McSorley. He gets it ahead to Sandstrom. Sandstrom for Granato. He couldn't handle the pass. It's broken up by Steve Smith.
Mike Kruseniewski getting a chance to play with Sandstrom and Granato. This would be a good opportunity for him to redeem himself for a very ordinary regular season and playoff.
Jelena is checked. McSorley fires it in. Off the boards, Kruseniewski got it in front of the net, but Brantford managed to cover up. And Sandstrom was robbed of a scoring chance by the Edmonton goaltender.
Staying ahead of the competition means staying ahead of the times.
Ford trucks, the best never rest.
And with ideas like an exclusive push-button four-wheel drive system on Ranger and the most advanced electronic automatic transmission on F-Series, Ford trucks are pulling away.
Ford trucks, the best never rest.
Now get 10.9% financing or $750 cash back on Canada's best-selling trucks.
In St. Louis, the Blues have drawn within one of Chicago. It's a power play goal. Gino Cavallini to Ron Wilson. Sharp angle, but he beats Ed Belfour. Wilson's third of the playoffs. It's 3-2 Chicago.
And it's 1-0 Edmonton with the puck in the Edmonton zone. Danelli battling for it back of the net. Messier managed to poke it past him. Then it's moved out to Simpson. Messier and Anderson racing up in the play. To Messier going back to the net. Still holding that puck, looking for someone to pass to. It bounces off a skate. It's brought back by the King. The pass too far for Tonelli. Messier back in his own zone after it. He moves it up to Simpson. Simpson gives it over on the wing. The shot is fired just wide. Huddy from the point. Right on. The shot kicked out. Another loose puck in front. Anderson fires. He scores!
The Oilers get so many chances on the rush. They use their speed, and this was all set up with that good chance that went around the boards, and the Kings never could recover. Here's a chance for Simpson. It bounces to Anderson, a rolling puck. He lets it go, and it beats Kelly Rudy high to the stick side. Here's the scramble in front, and just watch Anderson. He lets it go, and there's Steve Duchesne. Steve Duchesne gets a piece of it and tips it by Kelly Rudy.
Glenn Anderson's third goal of the playoffs at 12:02. It appeared as though it may have initially deflected off Brian Benning and then passed Kelly Rudy. It's 2-0 Edmonton. The Oilers lead the series 3-0. Trying to sweep tonight here at the Great Western Forum. Shots on goal so far are dead even, quite a contrast to Game 3 here at the Forum, where the Oilers had just one shot in the first period. As it was brought in across the line and Condos tried to tee it up, it's whistled down on the offside call.
Kelly Rudy really hasn't had much chance on both goals. Here's the shot from Anderson. It hits Benning, and then it hits Duchesne. And you see right there, off Benning, off Duchesne, and then in past Kelly Rudy.
Well, not only have the Los Angeles Kings dug themselves into a big hole by trailing the series 3-0, they now trail in this opening period by a score of 2-0.
And you're without Wayne Gretzky, explosive player that you need, especially on your power play.
McTavish flips it down into the Los Angeles zone. Lima was racing in there after it. Picked up by the Kings, and they start back, led by Robinson. Robinson drop pass, feed in front for Duchesne racing in from the point. He couldn't get a shot away as he was tied up. Bob Kudelski back in the lineup of the Los Angeles Kings tonight after missing the last game. Robinson checked at the line by Klima. Klima moves it across to Buchberger, his shot right on. Buchberger in control, gives it to Klima. Klima trying to move out front. Overskates it, picked up there by Robitaille. 6:38 left in the period. Robitaille for the Kings, having problems working in across the line, lost the puck. Back comes Steve Smith. He has Lamb with him. Lamb goes for the net. Smith with the shot right on. Rudy is forced to make the save. Kudelski comes back for Los Angeles. He had his pass intercepted by Curry. He dumped it in, and Marty McSorley plays it around the boards. Alec, rink-wide pass for Kudelski. He flips it down into the Edmonton zone. Ranford makes the save. Ranford leaves it there for Steve Smith. Up on the right side for Curry. Curry is checked as he comes in across the line, and Marty McSorley takes it to safety behind his net. He can't clear. Curry kept it in, then is checked by Sandstrom. It comes out across the line, knocked back in again, and it's an offside call against Edmonton with 5:44 left in the period. Two 0. The Edmonton Oilers lead.
Some people will go to any lengths to have a beautiful green lawn without any weeds. Now Green Cross gives you an easier way with Feedex, the only liquid lawn food and weed killer with Killex. Just attach your hose, screw on the applicator, and spray. Feedex, the easy way to spray your lawn green.
Well, this crowd at the Forum tonight has been very quiet through this first period. Unlike Game 3 of the series, where those two quick goals late in the period had this capacity audience in a rather optimistic frame of mind. But again, that big second period comeback by the Edmonton Oilers, where they scored 4 goals, certainly silenced the crowd. And those 2 first period goals tonight have done much the same thing. They'd come to life, though, if Tonelli can do anything. In front, they deflected just wide. In front again. Crowder, twice now, has managed to get his stick on a centering attempt, but has been unable to beat Ranford.
And both times it was just because he drove to the net, and the Oiler defenseman couldn't handle him.
Casper, out of his own zone. As they bring it in across the line, it is an offside call against Los Angeles. 4:59 remaining in the period. Well, Steve Smith with the big hit on Wayne Gretzky in period 1 of Game 3 that has taken Gretzky out of the playoffs. Here were Smith's thoughts on what he thought this hit would do.
Well, I'm hoping that it slowed him down a little bit, at least a little bit, to get us on track and to get us pumped about the hit. And you know, Wayne Gretzky is such a competitor. He came back and did his best to try and get them back into the game late.
Last year, the Oilers squandered a 3-1 lead in the series. How conscious are you of that going into Game 4 here with the 3-0 lead?
Well, we're very conscious of it. I think that we think about it. We hopefully will have learned from our lesson, learned from our mistakes, learned a lesson from it, and you know, we're excited about the game tonight, but not over anxious. We know we have to win it, and the 4th game is always the toughest to win, and you know, we have to stay focused on what we have to do tonight.
And I don't think Steve Smith at the time thought that that hit would take Gretzky out of Game 4 of this series.
Obviously, Gretzky was hurting during that game before he was hit by Smith, and it was just a little added pressure to the back that has him out of the lineup here tonight.
He was able to continue playing after that first period hit. As a matter of fact, he played well in periods 2 and 3. But the back tightened up on him, and despite treatment, he is unable to play tonight. Mark Messier has played well for the Edmonton Oilers, a former Smythe Trophy winner as the playoffs' most valuable performer, and I think he is probably a candidate again this year.
For sure, and I wondered how the Edmonton Oilers would come out tonight, whether they would play with the same drive they have in the last 6 or 7 games, and they really have, led by Mark Messier. He set the tone early. They're still skating. This is the first non-pressure game they've had in a while.
Kevin Lowe dumps it in. It takes a strange bounce off the glass. Robinson has it behind his own net. Good forechecking by the Edmonton Oilers. This is what they were doing in the first and second game of the series in Edmonton. They got away from it a little in period 1 of game 3.
And their defense are really standing up. They're pinching in, and then they're challenging the LA Kings on the rush at their own blue line.
Lead pass for Messier. Messier is checked. Simpson in there forcing the play, chasing Duchesne back of his own goal. His pass as he tried to move it ahead to Contos was too far. It's loose in the neutral area. Duchesne comes to the line, but way offside is Contos. Really didn't matter. The puck picked up by Smith. Ahead to McTavish. McTavish trying to move in. He couldn't get a shot away. Knocked down by Robinson. Robinson for Jay Miller. Miller dumps it in, but is prevented from going after it by Steve Smith. Along the boards, McTavish gets it ahead to Klima. Back to McTavish to Klima. Klima faked the shot, got it again, then was checked. McTavish picks it up. McTavish is spun around. Miller can't move it against Buchberger. McTavish in there to try and help out. Some good bumping along the boards. The puck finally comes loose to Halkitis. Halkitis, long shot. Big rebound, and it's dumped out of the zone by Charlie Huddy. 2:47 left in the period.
Again, it's the Oilers' defense standing up, and the Kings have to take those long shots on Bill Ranford.
Back in the center ice area, Halkitis to Kudelski. He attempted to flip it into Edmonton territory, but it went over the glass out of play with 2:31 left in the period.
Bob Kudelski, another one of the walking wounded of the LA Kings, just back. He had a broken finger. Puck handler, and when you've got a broken finger, you're wearing a little splint that's bound to hurt your game. This was a supplemental draft choice of the LA Kings out of Yale. He's really played well for the LA Kings this year, but in the playoffs, their snipers just haven't been able to do it against the Edmonton Oilers. You look at their guys who have over 30 goals, like John Chinelli and Sandstrom, and those people just can't seem to get it going against the Oilers.
Tommy Webster was saying this morning he's never experienced anything like the injuries that have hit in the playoffs. Ranford with a save as Robitaille took the initial shot. And then Ranford went sprawling as that puck bounced out, and Todd Alec could not get it past Bill Ranford.
Robitaille takes the shot. He's playing for the rebound. Alec going to the net, and he can't raise it over Bill Ranford. Look at Ranford in desperation, goes down, takes away the bottom of the net, and makes the save. Watch Ranford. He knows that Alec's there. He goes down, stretches out as far as he can, gets a hand over, and takes it in the face and makes the save.
Robitaille scored 4 goals in the first 2 games of the semifinal round against the Calgary Flames. Those 2 games in Calgary with Wayne Gretzky out of the lineup.
You have to wonder whether Robitaille gets better ice time or more quality ice time when Wayne Gretzky's not in the lineup.
Alec will try and get the draw back to the point to Larry Robinson.
But if a player gets 52 goals during the regular season, you expect him to score on a more consistent basis than just in the first 2 games and then never again.
Mark Lamb is waved out. Tikkanen comes in. Tikkanen ties up Alec, and Kevin Lowe takes the puck to safety behind his own net. Lead pass for Tikkanen. He neatly deflects it to Curry. Curry in front of the net. Tikkanen was driving for the goal, but it's smothered by Kelly Rudy.
And Rudy has played a good period, even though he's down 2-0. Had little or no chance on both goals. Rudy was really upset that he wasn't the starting goaltender in game number 3. He felt that even though he was a little sore, he was quite capable of starting that game, and it was more or less the coach's decision to change.
He indicated this morning that he was ready to play game 3 and really thought he should have been in the lineup. Well, Sunday was not a good day for owner Bruce McNall. Not only did his Kings lose a hockey game, but his horse, Frankly Perfect, running in the San Juan Capistrano handicap, suffered a broken leg.
He said it was a little easier to accept the plight of the Kings.
Turnover, and Adam Graves got a quick shot away that was deflected up over top of the net. Murphy fighting for it in the corner. This trio of Murphy, Graves, and Jelena, generally considered to be the fourth line, has played well for the Oilers. They got a chance to play in Game 5 of the series against the Winnipeg Jets, and they have continued to improve with each outing. I think Coach John Muckler is getting more and more confidence in them.
In Game 3, they became the third line as Craig McTavish's line got a little rest.
Here's a turnover. Bouncing puck at the side of the net. Graves trying to move it out of there. Gets some help from Kevin Lowe, and he dumps it out of the zone. Fired back in by the Kings as they make a change. Good hit by Halkitis as he came racing in from the point to send Craig Muni flying. Contos bangs it back to the goal. Sandstrom trying to pry it loose. Contos there to help out. It bounces to the side of the net and then is flipped to the corner as we move into the final minute of this opening period. 2-0, Edmonton leading. Penalty call coming up against Edmonton. Puck along the board. Sandstrom firing it back to the net. And as it's touched by Edmonton, the whistle goes with 31 seconds remaining in this opening period. Chris, what will we have in our first intermission?
Don, between periods, I'll chat with Bruce McNall about his week of misfortune and the future of the Los Angeles Kings. Always enjoy talking to the personable owner of the Kings. And we'll check in on that Norris Division final. Chicago still leading 3-2 in the third period.
Glenn Anderson takes a tripping penalty at 19:29. The Kings power play just has to start performing. The Kings with some good pressure driving to the net, and there you see it just at the left of your screen. Craig Muni wanted a penalty. He wasn't going to get it, and Anderson tripped the Tony Granato driving to the net. The Kings have a power play.
Just one power play goal in this series for the Kings. That was the goal by Chris Contos in the 6-1 second game loss in Edmonton.
They had one opportunity already tonight, never had a shot on Bill Ranford during that power play.
Steve Smith dumps it to the corner, but Alec gets there first. Alec with a shot, big rebound, and it bounced away from Steve Duchesne. He tried to save it at the line, but it was offside.
Kevin Collins was right there and made the call. Kevin Collins is probably Arnold Schwarzenegger of the NHL linesman, one of the most fit athletes that I've ever seen, and you almost have to be now because the linesmen work so hard, never get a chance to rest during the game.
Duchesne goes rink wide. Marty McSorley flips it to the corner. Robitaille raced in after it, but Charlie Huddy got there first as he tried to chop it out of the zone. It went over the glass out of play. 12 seconds left in the period.
Steve Duchesne is a talented offensive defenseman. He's been on the ice for the last 6 straight Edmonton Oiler goals. And he just has to learn how to play some kind of defense. You can't keep throwing him out there when you know you're taking a chance your team's going to be scored upon.
Bill Ranford has faced 12 first period shots, but so far the Kings have not been able to beat him. He recorded his first ever playoff shutout in the opening game of this series, won by the Oilers 7-0. Only the third shutout in Edmonton playoff history. The other two by Grant Fuhr, including one last year against these same Los Angeles Kings.
Craig McTavish won that face-off, and Thomas Sandstrom is getting a slashing penalty. There goes the LA Kings power play, and one of the things the Oilers have been able to do is show great discipline, and that's an undisciplined penalty. Sandstrom got a spearing penalty at the end of Game 3 when he tried to spear Edmonton Oiler trainer Ken Lowe.
Sandstrom claimed that was in retaliation for a slash he took on his right hand that broke the little finger on his right hand.
Time of the penalty, 1951.
Here's right there, Thomas Sandstrom takes a whack at Steve Smith, gets a slashing penalty just on the ankles of Steve Smith. I've seen Thomas Sandstrom use his stick a lot more violently and not be called for a penalty.
dumped down the ice into the Los Angeles zone, and as Marty McSorley goes back after it and then takes a hit, the siren sounds to end the opening period.
Bill Ranford goes off, another solid period, but the Edmonton Oilers came out and did what they had to do. They're skating again against the LA Kings.
The 2 goals scored by Mark Messier and Glenn Anderson at 4:57 and 12:02 as the Oilers outshot the Kings 13-12 in the opening period. And so the score at the end of the first period is Edmonton 2, Los Angeles nothing.
If you like taking chances, the real estate world is full of opportunities.
But at Royal LePage, we don't take chances with your biggest investment. We give you a written personal service guarantee that spells out exactly how we'll market your home. And if we don't live up to it, you can cancel your listing. So, you can take your chances. Or you can take our guarantee.
When your car's original parts start to fall apart, choose Motomaster, Canada's #1 selling replacement parts. There's only one brand of motor oil that goes faster than the rest. Motomaster motor oil outsells Quaker State or Castrol. Motomaster, Canada's #1 selling motor oil.
Motomaster, built tough, back tough. Available at Canadian Tire.
Blinds of All Kinds invites you to our Super Spring Sale. The largest manufacturer in the region, Blinds of All Kinds surpasses the competition by manufacturing verticals and even Venetians in 1 week. Venetians at 20% off. Verticals of fabric from 20 to 60% off. Our Super Spring Sale ends on April the 28th. Bargains of all kinds at Blinds of All Kinds, manufactured in 1 week. Blinds of All Kinds, Orleans, Saint Laurent, Bells Corners, Maryvale, Pembroke, and Kingston.
Bricks are bricks, right? There's clay, the real McCoy, and calcite. No difference if all you're doing is cracking nuts. But when you buy a house, that's when it counts. You'll pay a lot for your home, and you cannot afford substitutes. You need the real McCoy.
Nothing replaces the real McCoy, because out there, nature does her worst, and you have to be sure the beauty will last. You've got to have the real McCoy, only by Canada Brick.
To settle for less is nuts.
You snuck up on me. You know, when you travel as much as I do, you'll learn to recognize a good airline when you see one. Canadian is one terrific airline. Oh, that's lovely. I know what you're thinking. They paid him to say that. Well, I'll tell you a little secret. These people are so nice, I would do this commercial for nothing. No, I would not. But they're nice.
And Anderson, the goal scorers for the Oilers in the first. They, along with Craig Simpson, with 2 points apiece in period number 1. Well, to be perfectly frank, it has been a tough week for Bruce McNall. Frankly, perfect Sunday gets hurt, and then your other thoroughbred tonight. What have you done wrong? This has been
bad week, I guess. Yeah. I shouldn't have gotten up or something this whole week. It's been pretty tough, but that's sports. You know, you have horses that performed great. We had one that ran real well in the wood and will go in the Kentucky Derby that Wayne and I own together, Pendleton Ridge, and frankly, Perfect breaks a leg, and Wayne gets his hurt back, so that's sports.
Well, Wayne's disappointed he's not in the lineup tonight and hasn't been talking to the media, but I know you talked to him, obviously down. How is he?
Well, his back has been bad throughout the entire playoffs, obviously, and tonight it just he got hit the same spot as he did last time, and it just really went back to square one, so he was in bad shape.
How much influence do you have in deciding whether or not he can play?
None whatsoever. I don't really talk about that kind of thing at all. Really, that's Wayne's decision at this point in time. Usually a player himself will know whether he can go or not, and my only concern, of course, is not to play him if he really feels that he's going to injure himself for a long term. But that was never a concern. The doctors never felt that was a possibility, and Wayne didn't either. Just that he didn't have the mobility, and he felt he would hurt the team to play.
You've come off the high of the last series, and now down 3-0 and 2-0 in this game. How disappointed are you?
Well, you can't help but be a bit disappointed, obviously. But at the same time, that is sports. You know, I enjoy the game so much that I just like to be a part of it and enjoy it a lot. And I'm disappointed, of course, but we had a great series against Calgary, and Edmonton's been playing great. And at the moment, we have a bit of adversity to go over, but that's part of the fun of sports, too, is overcome adversity.
Quickly, a lot of fans have asked me, is he going to spend more money on more players?
I'd love to. If I can get the right ones, I don't mind doing it, and whatever I can. I've gotten a lot of money out of this organization and the Kings, and if I need to spend more money to get it, I'll get that cup, I'll do it.
You bought an airplane, maybe you'll have to buy a clinic the way things are going this year.
I think I own one right now. I think I paid enough money to these doctors that I can own a clinic right now.
Bruce, thanks for joining us, and good luck to the Kings the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Bruce McDowell is the owner of the Los Angeles Kings. The Kings trailing the Oilers 2-0 after one. Our first intermission continues after this.
In St. Louis, Hockey Night in Canada will be covering that series if the Edmonton Oilers should sweep the Los Angeles Kings with a victory tonight. A penalty against Reijo Ruotsalainen. So it is 4 skaters against 3 early in the second period. Play just underway. Marty McSorley back at the blue line. McSorley moving in, a shot, and it is blocked by Craig Muni. McSorley gets it again. He lets the shot go, fired wide, and it's hammered off the boards by Tikkanen and down the ice.
Craig Muni got hurt with that first shot. You can see him holding his left arm, but he stays on the ice.
Marty McSorley at the point, dumps it in. Centering pass, Duchesne robbed by Ranford. Duchesne had come in from the point. Here's McSorley. McSorley dishes it off. Gets the return pass. Fakes. There's the shot by Duchesne off the side of the net. Back of the goal. Granato is checked. Kushelniski in there trying to pry it loose. Craig Muni got to it. He moves it ahead to McTavish. McTavish coming in against McSorley. McTavish cuts in front, and he was checked by Kelly Rudy, and back comes Los Angeles. Kushelniski looking on the right side for Robitaille. It was too far for him. Banged around the boards and out. Duchesne at the point, unable to keep it in.
Glenn Anderson just back on, and it's 4-on-4.
43 seconds remaining in that game in St. Louis. Duchesne with a shot. It's high and wide. At the side of the net, Robitaille is checked. Charlie Huddy comes up with it, and he fires it down the ice. 20 seconds remaining in the penalty to Ruotsalainen.
Now the Kings power play that looked very good 4-on-3. They had some chances but couldn't hit the net. Steve Duchesne had a couple of good chances and hit the side of the net.
Back after it is Benning. Benning is checked. Yari Curry moves in, shot, and the save by Kelly Rudy. Rudy comes out of his net to play it to the corner to Crowder. Crowder loses it back to Curry. He tried to one-time it, but he was checked by Marty McSorley. Los Angeles starts back. Robitaille in across the line with Alec in front. They score! Keith Crowder!
Had some good chances here tonight. A couple of goal posts in the first period on tip-ins. Here it's a 3-on-2. And Robitaille with a nice feather pass to Crowder. And Crowder beats Yari Curry. Doesn't get a whole lot on the shot, but just enough to tip it by Bill Ranford. Watch Curry coming back on Crowder. Crowder has position on him, and it goes between Ranford's legs. Bill Ranford overplayed that shot. I think he thought Crowder was going to get more on it. Kicked the leg too far, and it went through his legs.
Keith Crowder with his first goal of the playoffs, and the Los Angeles Kings have new life in the second period.
The assist to number 20, Luke Robitaille.
Benning behind his own net.
Top of the goal, 2:44.
Gets it ahead to Allison. He can't move it out. Allison in the lineup for the first time in this series. The Kings to the attack. Casper works to the corner, a centering attempt. In the Edmonton zone, picked up by Jeff Smith. Smith comes out with Anderson in across the line. Long shot saved by Rudy. Anderson steps into Benning as he tried to move it. Another shot from a sharp angle by Graves. Here's another blast from the other side by Ruotsalainen, who had come racing in from the point. Now it's picked up by Allison. To Larry Robinson. Robinson flips it to the corner. Bill Ranford is there to play it up along the boards. Tikkanen deflects it ahead to Murphy. Moved out into the neutral zone. Graves is spun around as he crossed the Los Angeles line. Back comes Duchesne. Duchesne to Krushelnyski. Krushelnyski for Granati. He overskated it, and it's dumped down the ice by Edmonton with 16 minutes remaining in the period.
Krushelnyski should be able to play with Granato and Sandstrom. His passing and their speed.
Puck was knocked away from Jelena as he was driving for the net as Thomas Sandstrom got back to intercept. 2-1. Oilers leading. 15:38 remaining in the period. Rink-wide pass for Granato. Granato flips it wide of the Edmonton net. Ranford plays it around to the boards, knocked down by Sandstrom. His centering pass intercepted by Charlie Huddy, who sends Messier away. Messier waiting for Huddy to catch up on the play. Huddy moving in, his shot, and that's blocked by Larry Robinson. Robinson to Sandstrom. Unable to get it out. Benning will try, being watched by Glenn Anderson. Kept in at the line by Charlie Huddy, but finally Robinson gains control, and he gets it out of the zone. 14:58 remaining in the second period. 2-1. The Edmonton Oilers lead the Los Angeles Kings. Craig Simpson back to the net for Messier. Messier tried to flip it out front. It hit the side of the goal. Anderson tried to work out front. He's knocked down. Here comes Robitaille. Robitaille works to the boards, back to the line. Benning couldn't get a shot away. Buchberger races after the puck, coming in on McSorley. Buchberger tried to dish it off to Simpson. Broken up with Kudelski coming back for the Kings. Kudelski trying to get a shot, centers it. It deflects. Picked up by Alec. Alec cross ice to Robitaille, and Robitaille couldn't get good wood on that bouncing puck, and Ranford makes a glove save. 14:12 remaining in the second. The Kings trail by 1.
I'm a pharmacist, and I own and operate 2 retail pharmacies in Toronto. The biggest problem I have in dealing with the general public is probably one of the image. I remember when I first started working at the hospital there, I was wearing uniform, I was wearing lab coats and identification, and yet, you know, I ran into so many patients or even staff who stopped me and asked me, you know, which floor I belong to, you know, and that I should be returning to my room and all that. People see the wheelchair, but not the person.
It's over in St. Louis. The Blues outshot the Hawks 19-2 in the third period, but came up a goal short. Ed Belfour with a victory in his first Stanley Cup start. Chicago evens the series at 2-2 with a 3-2 victory.
Well, the Hawks have played well behind Ed Belfour, but this was his first starting assignment. In other games, he's come on in relief of Greg Millen, who was not even dressed tonight for the Chicago Blackhawks.
He had a relief victory in one of those where Greg Millen got the hook. His team played so well, they came back and Belfour got a win.
Jay Miller is going to go to the penalty box. He decked Rayo Ruotsalainen at the blue line. The extra attacker is out there for Edmonton. Craig McTavish circles to get away from Contos. And as the puck is touched by the Kings, the whistle goes, and the Edmonton Oilers, leading by 1, will have a power play with 13:37 left.
At BIC, we sympathize with the ways that you pull and stretch your face in search of a better shave. That's why we've created the BIC Metal Shaver. The patented BIC Metal stretches and smooths your skin thanks to its unique metal guard bar, so the shaver glides closely and comfortably. So instead of stretching, start reaching for a BIC Metal Shaver. It stretches your skin for a better shave, and that's no stretch.
Jay Miller takes an interference penalty at 6:23, and this is another undisciplined penalty away from the play. There's Ruotsalainen, and the puck hasn't got there yet, and Miller flattens it. There's their power play. You see on Sunday, 1 for 4. Their penalty killing has been so good that their power play, if they score at all, 1 a game, is going to put them on the plus side.
Ruotsalainen brings it out. Over to Steve Smith. Smith dumps it to the corner. Duchesne is racing back after it. He moves it ahead to Granato. Granato comes out with Casper. Leaves it for Robinson. He tried to get it back to Granato. It was broken up. And the loose puck picked up by Steve Smith. Smith rink-wide pass for Messier. Messier has a goal and an assist tonight. A centering attempt as Anderson was racing in from the right side is deflected to the corner by Larry Robinson. Anderson and Robinson battle for it. Simpson there to help out. He cuts in front, gets a backhand shot away. Robinson has control. To Steve Casper. He's having problems picking up that puck. Finally, he dumps it down the ice.
It'd be interesting to have a clock on Larry Robinson tonight. He's been out there for the whole first half of this game.
Messier back to the blue line, still controlling. Tried to go cross ice with it, and it was deflected by Krushelnyski out into the neutral zone. Tikkanen fires it in. It takes one of those strange bounces off the glass directly in front of the net, but Kelly Hrudey was ready for it.
This rink is one of the worst in the league for the boards and the glass. And the goaltender, you saw Kelly Hrudey never even bothered to come out of the net to try and stop that. He knew he might get a bad hop, and he was in good position to play it.
One of the problems with the boards is that they are not flush to the ice. Stolen by Alkaitis. Krushelnyski couldn't get a shot away as he tried to go in on Bill Ranford. Tikkanen cuts in front of his own net with 12 seconds left in the penalty. Up to Curry with Lamb at the line. He drops it off for Lamb. Back to the point. Cross ice to Lowe. There's a shot saved by Hrudey. Back to the point again. The penalty is over. A shot right on. The rebound. They score. Mark Lamb jammed it past Kelly Hrudey after he made the initial save just as the penalty to Jay Miller had expired.
And Jay Miller never got a chance to get back into the play. And Mark Lamb, who has been the scoring hero of the Edmonton Oilers, right there in front of the net to pick up this rebound. And Kelly Hrudey gets a good piece of this, and it just trickles under his pad. Mark Lamb with Brian Benning right on him. Watch Brian Benning trying to get to Lamb. Not close enough, and Lamb just slides it under Kelly Hrudey.
Well, that's an 8-game point streak for Mark Lamb, and I wonder how many people in playoff pools selected number 7 of the Edmonton Oilers.
The Oilers goal scored by number 7.
So it's a 3-1 game. The Edmonton Oilers regaining their 2-goal advantage, and that has taken some of the life out of the crowd here at the Great Western Forum. They had been encouraged by the fine penalty-killing job of the Kings up until that point. Jelena trying to break in down the right side. He's checked. Murphy following up, gets a shot right on. The puck bounces high in front of Kelly Hrudey, and it's brought out by Steve Casper. He has Crowder in across the line with him. There's the feed for Crowder! Saved by Ranford as Crowder goes crashing into the Edmonton goaltender, and they take the net off the supports. Excellent pass to Crowder. He tried to make the move, but Ranford would have none of it.
This is a message for all the car manufacturers who've been trying to copy the Chrysler Magic Wagon for 6 years. If what you want is a Dodge Caravan or Plymouth Voyager, just tell us. Perhaps we'll build them for you, and you can simply put your names on the front. Chrysler Magic Wagon. Easy to drive, hard to copy.
Bill Ranford has made 14 saves tonight, and this is a big one on Keith Crowder, who is right in again, and he's got time to make a move. Pulls it to his backhand, but look at Ranford drag the right leg and made the save. Watch Ranford's right leg. He doesn't overcommit himself this time. Fakes forehand. Crowder faked forehand, then tried to go to the backhand. Ranford stayed with him and made the save.
Mark Lamb's 5th goal at 8:28 with the assist going to Huddy and Lowe. Granato with a quick shot from the faceoff. The save is made by Ranford. Krushelnyski throws it out front. Granato couldn't get his shot away. Charlie Huddy drops in front of another shot by Granato. McTavish checked in the zone, shot right on, and Granato seems to be everywhere in that Edmonton zone. This time Sandstrom has it to Granato, the shot, and it's fired wide. Krushelnyski gets it to Granato. Sandstrom tried to center it. It was banged off into the corner. Picked up finally by Charlie Huddy, and he fires it down the ice. And well behind the play, Charlie Huddy went flying over top of Thomas Sandstrom, but he appears to be okay. 10:02 remaining in the period. The icing call against Edmonton.
Now loosen up, it's time for fun. Come on now and grab the silver one. Good friends, good times, playing all around. Laughing it up, they're cooling it down with the silver bullet. It's the right beer now. Right time, right beer, right beer. Coors Light is right here. Catch the light bright taste of Coors Light. Hold on to the silver bullet. It's the right beer now.
Charlie Huddy and Mike Krushelnyski going off together. I thought it was Thomas Sandstrom too, but Krushelnyski came in.
2 minutes for hooking. Los Angeles penalty to number 26, Mike Krushelnyski.
Here's the hooking, Charlie Huddy, and there's the shot by Krushelnyski after Huddy had hooked Sandstrom down. And a retaliation penalty again by the Kings. They were going to have a power play, an undisciplined penalty. It cost them the last time when Jay Miller took one. He wasn't back in the play. The Oilers scored. Here the Kings would have had a power play. And now it's even strength.
We're at the midpoint of period 2, and it's a 2-goal advantage being enjoyed by the Edmonton Oilers. They were ahead 2-0 after 1. Los Angeles got back to within 1 goal as Keith Crowder scored, but then Mark Lamb restored that 2-goal advantage. Larry Robinson dumps it in. Ruotsalainen races back after it. The puck loose in the Edmonton zone. Duchesne grabs it from the point. A long shot right on. Ranford was screened on that, but managed to get his pad out just at the last moment. Here comes Messier. Simpson poised in front, looking for the pass. There it is. He scores. Craig Simpson waiting for that pass from Mark Messier, and Messier got it across to him.
A 3-on-1 for the Edmonton Oilers. Here it comes, Anderson right there. They go around Larry Robinson, create the 3-on-1, and watch Simpson at the top of your screen. Let the shot go. It's going about 1.5 feet wide. It hits Steve Duchesne, goes in. Again, no chance for Kelly Hrudey. Now watch, it's going wide. Hits Duchesne on the right foot, just catches the corner.
And for Craig Simpson, that is his 8th goal of the playoffs. And this line of Messier, Anderson, and Simpson have all scored tonight, and all 3 of them have 3 points. Messier and Anderson drawing assists on the goal by Craig Simpson. It's a 4-1 hockey game now. Edmonton in control, leading the series 3-0. Messier racing after it again. He got there first. It's loose in the Los Angeles zone. The Kings flipping it up on the right side. Too far for Keith Crowder. Picked up, however, by Casper. Casper comes in. He's checked. Tied up by Muni. There's a penalty coming up against the Edmonton Oilers. And as it's touched by Tikkanen, the whistle goes. Craig Muni in the corner, pushing and shoving after the whistle with Keith Crowder and John Tonelli.
And the Kings know that Muni's getting the original penalty. It would be unwise of them. Their only hope is to get their power play going.
So trailing by 3, the Los Angeles Kings will have a power play.
The 1990 Chevrolet Lumina. Come into your nearest dealer and experience what a family car should be when it comes to interior space. The Chevrolet Lumina with 10.9% financing for 4 years will challenge everything you thought you knew about family cars.
Tomorrow night, it's Game 4 of the Adams Final. The Canadians facing elimination against the Boston Bruins. Now, should the Los Angeles Kings come back and win tonight, Thursday we'll be back at the Northlands Coliseum for Game 5 of the Smythe Final. But if the Oilers continue to lead and go on to win, we'll be in Chicago for Game 5 of the Norris.
Craig Muni drew the initial penalty, but he also picks up an additional 2-minute sentence for roughing. Keith Crowder also draws a 2-minute minor for roughing. The end result is a Los Angeles power play.
There's the original trip. It's on Steve Casper, and then in the corner, Crowder went over, and Muni and he were shoving at each other, and they both got roughing penalties. Crowder was taking a chance.
8:45 remaining in the second. It's 4-1. The Oilers leading the Kings. The Oilers attempting to sweep Los Angeles, just as the Calgary Flames did to the Kings last year in the Smythe Final, and the Oilers to the Winnipeg Jets the previous year.
Really have to wonder about the letdown that the Kings have had in the last 2 years, where they face the Stanley Cup champions in the first round. They play well, come up with a big win, and then they're more or less flat for the next 4 games.
Peter Preisler is out there for his first shift of the hockey game. Back on the point. He gets the pass from Duchesne. Back to Duchesne. He fired it into the corner. Granato with a shot. The save by Bill Ranford. Preisler manages to keep it in at the blue line. Back to the point. Sandstrom tees it up. Fires it wide. Contos. Back to Preisler. There's his shot. A weak one, as that puck was up on edge and it was knocked down by McTavish. 1:20 remaining in the power play. Robitaille having problems with Ruotsalainen, still controls it. Back to the point. Duchesne had difficulty keeping it in the zone. Managed to dump it to the corner. Back to the line to Preisler. Preisler fakes the shot. Preisler tries to work to the boards. Was upset by Yari Curry. The fans reacting, thinking there should have been another penalty on the play. Robitaille to Sandstrom. Centering pass. Granato couldn't get a shot away. And Preisler at the point had it poked past him by Yari Curry.
Again, it's Curry and Tikkanen doing the job, killing penalties for the Edmonton Oilers.
Sandstrom has it. Back to the line to Benning. Benning almost lost control of it. He got it to Ellick. It goes to the other side. Duchesne takes a long shot, knocked down by Yari Curry. Curry comes out. Benning, the lone man back. Curry, long shot. That's kicked to the corner by Kelly Rudy, who was way out of his net to make that save. 18 seconds remaining in the penalty. Kudelski with a shot. That's up high and off the glass, and it ricochets all the way down the ice. Messier racing after it. Messier puts on the brakes and then is hit by Marty McSorley. Puck winds up underneath Messier with 4 seconds remaining in the penalty.
Again, that's Messier's speed. A good short-handed chance for the Oilers. Messier lost his edge and fell down in the corner. You are picking the stars right now. I know it's early in this game to pick the stars, but Mark Messier once again would have to be considered the best player on the ice.
How about Bill Ranford?
He has played well. You're getting used to it now, though. You expect him to play so well every night. And once again tonight, he's doing his job.
Well, he's riding a 6-game winning streak in Stanley Cup play. 3 straight to wrap up the series against Winnipeg after they trailed 3-1, and 3 more against the Los Angeles Kings, including his first ever postseason shutout. Kudelski ridden out of the play by Kevin Lowe. Tikkanen takes a hit. Puck goes into the corner to Ellick, out front to Robitaille, and he can't get it past Bill Ranford. Robitaille has it again, out front, a shot. They score! Kudelski!
been Luke Robitaille's best game of this series. Couple of good chances, and then he finally sets up Bob Kudelski, brings it out. It looks like he's going to wrap it around, and instead he throws it out to Kudelski, who fires it at the net. The screen is there. Watch Ranford. There's Alec and Charlie Huddy right in front of Bill Ranford, and this one just trickles off Ranford and over the line.
It may have hit Alec in front of the net as he was cutting in front of goaltender Bill Ranford and being bothered there by Charlie Huddy. So once again, it's a 2-goal lead. Puck comes to Jelena. Jelena moving in. Saved by Rudy. Loose puck at the side of the net. Jelena trying to move it back to the point. And a whistle on the play as the Los Angeles net is knocked off its supports. 5:52 remaining in the second period. The Edmonton Oilers leading by 2.
This is a big game. Diet Pepsi's $4 million playoff pool, and you could win.
Win it, Coach. All right, let's win it.
You look under the caps of any Pepsi or 7-Up product.
Under the caps, Coach.
If it says Boston in 6 and they actually win the playoff final in 6, you're a winner.
Win.
You could win $10,000, $10 or free Diet Pepsi.
Play Diet Pepsi $4 million playoff pool. All right.
And you wonder why I got out of coaching.
Why, Coach?
Dave Taylor, unfortunately for the Kings, is a spectator tonight, as he has been throughout this entire series. He was hurt in Game 6. The clinching game of the Smythe Division semifinal against Calgary. Jelena trying to move in. He has the puck knocked away from him. It's fired the length of the ice, and this will be an icing call as Reijo Ruotsalainen goes back after it. We remind you this program is copyrighted and strictly for the private use of our viewing audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, distribution, or exhibition, in whole or in part, without the express written consent of Molson Brewery and the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, is strictly prohibited.
You're talking about Dave Taylor, and the one thing that he does every night is drive to the net. And the Kings have been rewarded with a couple of goals tonight because they have driven to the net. They've had some good chances. That last one, Alec right in the crease. It might have hit Alec on the way in. It hit somebody before it trickled by Bill Ranford.
10 players, half the roster, have an injury of some sort. Ruotsalainen's long shot is wide. Rudy was screened, never saw it. He had Adam Graves standing in front of the net. Condos slides it to Casper. Casper going in. He tried to get it back to Condos, and it was deflected to the corner. Out in front, a shot. Loose puck, a scramble with Ranford down and out of position. The Kings couldn't get a stick on it. Dumped out of the zone. Back after it goes Kudelski. Kudelski flips it out into the center ice area. Broken up there by Ruotsalainen. Now McTavish brings it in. It's offside. 4:50 is the time remaining. 4-2 in the second period. The Oilers lead the Kings.
The Nissan I-1 is the, it was in those commercials. They drove it to South America, the Pathfinder. We'd load up the Pathfinder and, whoops, better get a 4-door. And go skiing every weekend. Or the Paris-Dakar Rally.
We could be the first family to race from Paris to Africa. Quit our jobs, pull the kids out of school.
Yeah, maybe not.
The shots are 24-24. The LA Kings had a great chance to score. They took a shot at hitting Steve Smith in the back of the leg. They'd be right back in it, and they have the fans back in it. The fans were pretty dead for the first period and a half.
Shane being chased behind his own goal by Klima, moves it up to Jay Miller. He deflects it down the ice, and Charlie Huddy is back after it. Huddy plays it off the boards and out, fired right back in by Duchesne. Knocked down by Jeff Smith. He's in the lineup tonight, replacing the injured Randy Gray. Larry Robinson retreats into his own zone. 4:19 left in the second period. It was 2-0 Edmonton after 1. Each team has scored a pair of goals in the second. Jay Miller, checked by Peter Klima. They continue the battle. Miller comes up with it. Miller is hit by Charlie Huddy. Bookberger picks up the puck, moves it ahead to McTavish. Klima moving up in the play, so is Steve Smith. Smith brings it in across the line, dumps it into the corner. Back after it is Benning. Benning dodged the check. It comes back to the line, and a long shot blocked by Kelly Rudy, and back comes Los Angeles.
Benning tried that dangerous pass right up the middle. It was picked off by Tikkanen, and Rudy had to make another good save.
Good hit in the neutral zone as Lamb is upended. Krushelnyski had stepped into him. McSorley has his pass intercepted. Ruotsalainen fires it in. 3:13 the time left in the second period. 4-2. The Oilers leading the Kings. Two-line pass as it is picked up by Thomas Sandstrom with 3:05 remaining in the period.
Last year in the fourth game of the Smythe Final, the Oilers appeared to take a stranglehold on the series. Steve Smith got the winner with 26 seconds left in regulation time for a 4-3 victory and a 3-1 lead in the series that was far from over.
The face-off in the Los Angeles zone, 3:05 remaining in the period. 25-25 the shots on goal.
The Oilers are doing a good job. The coaches call it clogging up the neutral zone, where you just make the other team throw diagonal passes, and you always have two players on your team in the way. And the Oilers are really doing that well. Their defensemen are standing up, and they're just dumping it in. Nothing too fancy, protecting that lead.
Well, at playoff time, you get some goals from unexpected sources, but you have to rely on your big guns to do the bulk of the work. And so far tonight, Messier, Anderson, and Simpson, the #1 unit for the Edmonton Oilers, has scored 3 of the goals. Each of that trio getting a goal. They have 9 points among them. Krushelnyski, man who scored that overtime goal that sent the defending champion Calgary Flames out of the playoff chase. Couldn't control it. Yari Curry with a long shot right on, and Kelly Rudy makes the save with 2:41 remaining in the period.
You see Kelly Rudy looking around. Didn't have a chance to play the puck. Curry just threw it at the net, hoping for a rebound. The top plus-minus player in the playoffs, right there, Yari Curry. And he's killing penalties for the Edmonton Oilers, playing an awful lot in the playoffs, doing a superb job.
There's been a lot of speculation over the last few days as to his future because of the fact that his house is for sale in Edmonton.
Just checking out the market, maybe. There's lots of rumors. He's had contract problems again. This is the 3rd time that he's had trouble with the Edmonton Oilers, and many people felt that that affected his play towards the end of the regular season.
Well, he said it's a good time to have a house on the market in Edmonton, but there are others believe that he's had a rather lucrative contract offer from a team in Sweden. Steve Smith for Anderson. He chips it out. Back after it is Duchesne, being watched by Simpson. Intercepted in front to Anderson. A shot fired wide as Ruotsalainen knocked it down at the blue line. Back come the Kings. This is Alec. Alec cross ice. They score! Luke Robitaille!
Here's the 2-on-1. Rayo Ruotsalainen pinched in, and Alec, a perfect pass. He has to get it over Steve Smith, but the good goal scorers, and Robitaille doesn't get 52 goals a year unless he can handle some tough passes. Watch him handle this pass. He has to throw an aerial over Steve Smith's stick, and Robitaille still gets good wood on it, beats Bill Ranford.
Robitaille from Alec at 17:52. And the Kings are again within 1. Well, the Kings in the 3 previous games in the series, had been shut out. In the second period, they have 3 goals tonight. Steve Casper in the corner. And this crowd is very much back in the hockey game. John Tonelli, long shot, big rebound as Ranford had problems controlling it as he tried to glove it, but there was no King in position to take a shot. Jeff Smith in deep. He loses it. Moved up to Krushelnyski. He has Tonelli racing in with him. Krushelnyski to Tonelli. He scores! Tonelli was calling for that one all the way as Krushelnyski broke down the wing.
Adam Graves tries to hit Krushelnyski, doesn't get him. Now watch Tonelli, his first point of this series. A nice little move to the backhand on the 2-on-1, and that's 2 2-on-1s on 2 consecutive shifts. And look at the move by Tonelli. Not much chance for Bill Ranford.
2 goals by Robitaille and John Tonelli, 46 seconds apart, and the Kings have tied it at 4. Craig Muni off the boards for Klima. He can't handle it. Long shot flipped in by Duchesne. It's left there for Lowe. To Klima. Duchesne knocked it down. Long shot, and it's grabbed and held by Ranford with 1 minute remaining in the second period. And let me tell you, this crowd is alive at the Forum.
The Kings have really come on. They were down 4-1, and the Oilers were playing a very disciplined style. And then all of a sudden, Ruotsalainen took a little chance. 2-on-1, they go down and score. Adam Graves tried to hit Krushelnyski, missed him. Another 2-on-1, and they came right back and scored again.
Tom Webster said that every able-bodied player would be out on the ice tonight for the Los Angeles Kings. Unfortunately for Webster, the one man he would like to have out there, number 99, was unable to skate. But those who are performing are playing well.
Guys like John Tonelli, without Gretzky in the lineup, they have to step up their game a notch, and they have here.
Glenn Anderson tried to get it out, was checked. Here's Krushelnyski. Krushelnyski in front. Loose puck. They bang away. And finally, Anderson takes it to safety, moving it ahead to Messier. Messier with Krushelnyski all over him. He's checked, and Larry Robinson bangs it out of the zone. Granato steps into Muni. And then there's pushing and shoving along the boards directly in front of the penalty box. Muni took quite a hit. With 30 seconds remaining in this second period. Chris, what have we got in our second intermission?
Don, Craig Simpson will join me in studio. He has a goal and 2 assists in the game tonight. We'll also have a feature on the young and old Blue Liners, Larry Robinson and Rob Blake of the Los Angeles Kings.
For that hit on Craig Muni. It was from behind, and the referees are really calling that. Came all the way across the ice. Now, you watch Muni, he's in a very vulnerable position, and there Granato hit him. Simpson came in, and then Sandstrom came in.
Sandstrom stepped into Simpson and set him flying as he came to the aid of Craig Muni, who was really hit by Granato. And Granato, with 30 seconds remaining in the period, draws the penalty.
They called it high sticking. A number of times I've seen it called boarding here in the playoffs, where the player has his back turned. He's hit from behind, and referees are trying to get away from those neck injuries and the back injuries.
Well, with the score at 4-1 earlier in this second period, I'm sure there were many in the Great Western Forum, as well as people watching on Hockey Night in Canada, who thought this game was all over. But the Kings have fought back.
A lot of people gone to bed in Newfoundland and the eastern provinces.
Messier. Bumped by Kudelski. Anderson comes into the corner to try and help out. McSorley is there. So is Simpson. Kudelski got it free, but couldn't get it out. Long shot. Loved and held by Kelly Rudy. And for a moment, he thought it was behind him. And that comes just as the period ends.
Great save by Kelly Rudy, shot by Steve Smith, and this is before the buzzer goes. Reaches out, it's behind him, he catches it in the webbing. Watch Rudy, he's trying to find the puck, looks through the guy's legs, gets down low. Look what I got, glove open and facing the shooter, and he made the save.
Well, the Los Angeles Kings are still alive. In the second period, Crowder at 2:44 cut the lead to 1. Then Lamb and Simpson scored just over 2 minutes apart, and it looked as though it was over. But Kudelski, Robitaille, and Tonelli have brought the Los Angeles Kings back, and they outshot the Oilers 17-14. And so the score after 2 periods is Edmonton 4, Los Angeles 4.
Here's how we make Mazda special editions extra special. We start with our best-selling 626 and our sporty MX-6. Then we add extras. Extras costing around $2,000 if purchased separately. And these special edition cars are priced $500 less than our lowest priced DX models. All this and the best warranty in the business, Mazda.
It just feels right.
Oh. Hey, buddy. You look pretty cracked up. You okay? I feel awful, and I'm scared. Oh, don't be. The people here are so professional. They can do wonders. Oh? And they're really kind. They understand how you feel when you've had an accident. Gee, I'm starting to feel better already.
At Speedy Auto Glass, we treat every broken windshield as if it were our own. At Speedy, we care. And you're in and out in no time.
Take a good day, make a better day. Take a little dream, make it grow. Take above and beyond where the sky is blue. With each thing that you do, rise above.
Above and beyond. That's the Air Canada way.
It's time for fun under the sun. It's on the night, have something for everyone.
Series down by 3 in the game. They rally with 3 goals in 4 minutes, 59 seconds to tie the Oilers 4-4 after 2. Speaking of 3, Craig Simpson has a goal and 2 assists in this game, 3 more points, but it's period 3 I think you're worried about now.
Well, I think that's what we have to concentrate on. We had a little bit of a lapse there in that 5-minute span, and they made some great plays, they made some great goals, and they got a little bit of momentum going, so we're going to have to come out hard in the third.
Does this get you thinking about what happened last year when you were up 3-1 in the series?
Well, I don't think so. I think all it does is make us work a little bit harder, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy, and when we got up 4-1, maybe we did take it a little bit easy, but whenever a team has nothing to lose, you know, they're going full broke, and they're trying to create the opportunities, and they've been doing a good job of it.
What about your play? It wasn't the best of regular seasons, but with 3 points tonight, you're 1 point back of Brett Hull in the overall scoring, and all of a sudden, everything's going in the net, and we're going to take a look at your goal in the game tonight.
Well, my goal was a very lucky one tonight. I stopped up and sort of came back high in the slot, and I couldn't really see Mark because of all the bodies, but I just got a piece of the puck. It was coming pretty hard, and luckily it hit off Steve Duchesne.
And the line of Messier, Anderson, and Simpson's flying tonight.
Well, we've been pretty successful the last little while. We've been playing with a lot of confidence, and you know, right now is where we need us in the third period here.
I wanted to ask you if you were thinking ahead to the Norris opponent that you might face. I guess the score dictates the answer to that.
Well, definitely. I mean, obviously we want to be playing in it, and whether it's tonight or the next one, you know, we just got to concentrate on the game tonight, and we certainly don't want to have to go back to Edmonton and play another hockey.
Craig, continued success. Good luck in the third.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
Craig Simpson, a goal and 2 assists tonight as the Oilers are locked in a 4-4 tie with the Los Angeles Kings. Coming up next, we'll feature Larry Robinson and Rob Blake as our second intermission continues in a moment.
Well, I'm surprised. But, you know, one thing about it, the Kings, even the other night, they played pretty good, but they're not going to quit. I think with Wayne Gretzky out, maybe the players want to show some people something, but they're not quitters, and they're going to come back, looks like.
Bob, if the series did end tonight, Edmonton winning, what would you report on the Oilers back to the St. Louis Blues as you prepare for a Campbell Conference Championship?
Well, you take a few notes. You looked at their power play, and, you know, we tape all the games, too. So what I would do with the notes that I got, would go back to St. Louis and would break down the tapes for Brian Sutter and then just go over a few of the little notes I've made on them.
Any surprises, though, in this Oiler team?
No surprises. You know, they've been in the playoffs before. They got some good hockey players, and we know that they're going to be tough, and we just hope we get the chance to play them.
And we shouldn't be surprised by how the Norris Division final has gone, 2-2. I know you're disappointed with tonight's result, but nobody said that one was going to be easy.
Oh, no, it's going to be tough, and, you know, we play well in the Chicago building, and this year Chicago has played well in our building, so we're expecting a good, tough series.
Is there one aspect about the Blues that you think gives your team the edge in the Norris Division final?
Well, if we can keep Hull hot, our power play, which we have to get going, but we got some pretty good goal scorers, and our two goaltenders have played very well for us. And tonight you look at Belford winning goal for Chicago, and he must have played very well in the third period for them, but our young goalies have played very well for us.
He certainly did. Bob Plager, thanks very much for joining us. We're now ready for the third period, and back upstairs to Don Whitman and John Garrett.
Thanks, Chris. Hi again, everybody. Coaches and players often say, John Garrett, that the fourth game of the series is the toughest to win.
Always the toughest, and the players don't want to play any extra hockey. Some people think, well, who cares, you know, you go and play game 5. Nobody wants to play game 5 if you got a chance to end it in 4.
3 times the Edmonton Oilers staved off elimination against Winnipeg. If the Los Angeles Kings are going to perform a miracle, they'll have to do it 4 times. Still 1:10 remaining in the penalty to Granato. He took that late penalty in the second period. Messier dumps it in. Simpson racing after it. Kudelski got there. Moved up along the boards and out of the zone.
The LA Kings penalty killing could give the rest of their team a big lift here if they could keep the Oilers' power play off the board. They haven't let them set up.
Duchesne back after it. Duchesne leaves it there for Krushelnyski, and Krushelnyski slides it ahead to Kasper, to Allison. He takes it back to Larry Robinson. Allison hasn't seen a lot of ice time tonight, but he has been driving for the net. He's going in there again as Robinson shovels it out front. They score! Short-handed goal for the Los Angeles Kings, and they have the lead for the first time in the game.
Led by Larry Robinson. The old pro set it up. Watch where referee Ron Hogarth ends up on this. Robinson just slides it to the front of the net. And there's Krushelnyski. He jams away. Now watch Allison. He just pushes Bill Ranford across the line. Hogarth ended up in the corner. There's a pass by Robinson to Krushelnyski, and watch Allison come in and just slide Bill Ranford's arm and puck across the line.
So it's 5-4, the Kings in front. 8 seconds remaining in the penalty to Granato. Kevin Lowe to Lamb. He fires it in. It rides up high on the glass, takes a strange bounce. The Kings back at full strength. The centering attempt by Lamb is intercepted. Granato racing after it. Granato, a backhander, hits the side of the net. Centering attempt by Kudelski, picked off by Lamb. To Tikkanen, he deflects it into the Los Angeles zone. Kudelski, back of the net. He leaves it there. Valkinas, across to McSorley. McSorley dodges the check. Former Edmonton Oiler flips it in on the right side. Kasper centering it. It didn't get through to Crowder. Kasper gets it again. In front, loose puck. They bang away as it comes out towards the blue line. And finally out of the zone and dumped down the ice by Steve Smith.
You could just see Larry Robinson when he swooped in and Allison driving to the net. They were just going to try and push it over the line, and that's what they did.
Rudy stops it back of the net for Duchesne. To Crowder, who deflects it out. Jeff Smith fires it back in. Duchesne, after it again, cuts right in front of his net. Off the boards and out. Huddy fires it back in. Duchesne moves it out this time. A lead pass too far for Granato. Granato is checked by Charlie Huddy, and the puck comes back out to center ice. 17:04 remaining in this third period. Los Angeles leading by a score of 5-4. Duchesne kept it in for Sandstrom. Sandstrom takes a hit from Jeff Smith. It's poked away from Sandstrom and down the ice with Duchesne going back after it. 16:45 remaining in the period. Here comes Robinson. Robinson in the slide. A weak shot. That slides harmlessly to the corner. Robinson keeps it in at the point. Kings trying to gain control in that Edmonton zone. Kevin Lowe, however, gets to the puck. Moves it up along the boards. Anderson pokes it ahead for Messier. Messier tried to get around. McSorley was knocked down. McSorley may have been lucky there that there wasn't a penalty call. Here comes Todd Alec. Alec dishes it off. A shot. Big rebound. Robitaille couldn't get a stick on it. Krushelnyski let the initial shot go. Edmonton zone. This is Simpson. 15:53. The time left in the period. Shooting it in, going to the bench on the change as McSorley picks it up.
The LA Kings really driving to the net. They've done this all game, and it has created some chances there. Robitaille just missed a rebound as he was driving to the net.
That shorthanded goal by Allison with Krushelnyski and Robinson drawing the assist. Fired in by Lamb. Kept in at the point. Now brought out by the Kings. Back after it is Smith to break up the play, stopping Casper. Here comes Curry. He has Tikkanen. He drops it for Lamb. Lamb to Curry. Curry fanned on his shot. Gets it again to Lamb, back of the net. Lamb gives it to Curry. Curry a shot, knocked down in front of the goal. Tikkanen along the boards is checked. It comes back to the line, fired wide by Ruotsalainen. Crowder in his own zone, picks it up for the Kings. Crowder, lead pass that Tonelli couldn't control. It goes all the way down the ice. This will be icing against the Los Angeles Kings. 14:50 remaining in the period. Tonight's game is coming to you from the Forum in Inglewood, California.
The decade of the 90s will bring many new automotive designs, inspired merely by how they will look in the showroom. This is our totally redesigned Honda Accord. And this is our showroom.
They gave the spectators those fluorescent green rally hats prior to Game 4. They didn't do much good in Game 4, but they have certainly worked tonight in Game 3, I should say. They have certainly worked tonight in Game 4.
Crowd has really got into this game about the 10-minute mark of the second period. The Kings started to pick it up, got a few bounces, and the crowd is going crazy here again. 31 sellouts this year out of their 40 home dates. Hockey has really arrived. Bruce McNall talking about spending money to make money. He's already made all the money that he spent in getting Wayne Gretzky.
And I think it would probably take something of a natural disaster to wipe that perpetual smile off the face of Bruce McNall after what happened to his horse, Frankly Perfect, in the San Juan Capistrano handicap on Sunday, and then to his Los Angeles Kings falling behind 3-0, losing his superstar Wayne Gretzky for tonight's game. But he always has that smile, and now his Kings are in front by a score of 5-4, and I'm sure he's smiling even more. Back after it goes Charlie Huddy, another icing call against the Kings. 14:37 is the time left in period 3. The Kings leading by a goal.
Both the Dodge Spirit and Plymouth Acclaim give you more interior room than Honda Accord, more rear seat legroom, a more powerful engine, better rust protection, and a longer powertrain warranty, yet cost almost $3,000 less. How can we charge so little? How can others charge so much? Now, for a limited time, a $1,000 rebate, guaranteed.
Kelly Rudy made a big save with the Oilers on the power play, and the score tied at 4 just as the horn sounded to end the second period. I'm sure that gave his teammates something of a lift, and they came back with a shorthanded goal early in the third to take a 5-4 lead. The first time tonight they have been in front. They break out 3-on-2. Krushelnyski trying to slide it through. Centering pass knocked down in front, and it's brought out by Glenn Anderson. Long shot, that's blocked. Simpson overskated the loose puck. Krushelnyski back to Sandstrom. Sandstrom with a shot, gloved by Bill Ranford.
Thomas Sandstrom's played with some jump. There was talk on the Oiler bench that Sandstrom would be suspended. The league rule for a spearing penalty is a $50 fine, and then it's reviewed by the league, and that'll take some time. So I'm sure the $50 came out of his pocket, his pizza money.
All his playoff points in 1990 have been scored here at the Forum. He has not had a great road record.
Few players like that, and that's one of the reasons that the Rangers said that Sandstrom wasn't as valuable as everybody thought, was he did not play as well on the road as he did at home.
13:59 remaining in the period. Kevin Lowe leaves it back of the net for Esa Tikkanen. Takes a return pass, moved ahead to Curry. Curry in for Tikkanen. He tried to drop it back to Lamb, and it was intercepted by Halkitis.
Jari Curry thought that should have been an icing call. He looked at the linesman, it was about waist high. Gord Brossiker said that Curry could have played it.
Halkitis plays it to an open wing. Lowe gets it. Back for Craig Muni. Move it around in their own zone. Up to Tikkanen. Tikkanen is forced back. Tried to hit Curry. It bounced away from him. And Lamb intercepts a pass over to Klima. Klima with a shot way out of his net. Rudy makes the save. Ruotsalainen at the point couldn't get a shot away as he was checked by Alec. Alec goes across ice to move that puck back to Marty McSorley. Takes a return pass. Working in against Smith, centered it, nobody there, and the loose puck picked up by Ruotsalainen. 12:49 left in the period. Ruotsalainen unable to get a shot away, and it was offside. 5-4, the Kings trying to stave off elimination, lead in the third.
Imagine how much fun it would be if your favorite game was extra easy to win. That's the whole idea behind Winterio Extra. Thousands of extra instant prizes up to $5,000. Extra cash prizes by matching just 2 numbers. And the big extra, a grand prize you win by matching only 5 numbers in any order. Winterio Extra. It's extra easy to win.
Well, personalized license plates are the rage in Southern California, and obviously this hockey fan was watching King games before number 99 arrived in the scene. And last year on this date, he took the career goal-scoring lead. Moving past Mike Bossy, he has 88 for his career. Jari Curry, the Edmonton Oilers, is number 2 in the all-time list with 87. Jay Miller slides it in. It's deflected. Mike Allison, trying for his second goal of the hockey game, came racing in on the right side as Jay Miller fed it through. Buchberger in the corner, battling for the puck with Larry Robinson. Robinson comes up with it, gets it across to Duchesne. To Allison, up to Contos. Contos tried to flip it behind his back and took a hit in the neutral zone from Kelly Buchberger.
I'm sure Coach Tommy Webster would like him to get it in deep.
Crowder broke up the Edmonton play in the neutral zone, fired it in. Puck loose behind the net. John Tonelli trying to move it out front. Tonelli's still battling for it as he fires it into the corner. Tonelli trying to take up a position in front of the net. Crowder moves out, flipped a shot wide of the goal. Tonelli goes to the boards, back to the point. McSorley with a long shot high. Grabbed by Ranford, trying to clear it. He fanned on it, but fortunately there was an Oiler there to dump it out of the zone. Fired right back in by the Kings with 11:16 left in the third.
Good pressure by the line of Tonelli, Casper, and Keith Crowder. They have played well tonight.
Anderson trying to go for the net. He was checked. Krushelnyski comes up with the puck. Alkaitis had taken Anderson out of the play. Sandstrom with a long shot from outside the blue line. Kicked out by Ranford. Moved ahead to Curry. Curry at the line. Slides it in. Evan Lowe was checked. The puck comes back into the center ice area. 10:43 remaining in the third. 5-4. Los Angeles leads Edmonton. Tikkanen, long shot. Rebound kept in by Tikkanen. Lamb battling in the corner. Tried to pry it loose for Tikkanen. Picked up by Sandstrom, and he gets it out of the zone.
An awful long time to just try and sit back in your own zone and kill off the clock against a talented team like the Edmonton Oilers.
Oilers to the attack again. Lamb gets it over to Tikkanen for Curry. It was broken up. Tikkanen gets it again. His shot goes off to Shane. Curry, a backhander wide of the goal. And Todd Ellick moves it out into the center ice area. Back to the point to Kudelski. His shot. Ranford got a piece of that. From the other side, Benning with a long shot wide. Kudelski from the boards fires it high off the glass. Lamb took a swipe at it, unable to get it out. Robitaille circles in the corner, back to the point. Benning fakes the shot. Benning trying to move in. Got it to Robitaille. Robitaille centered it. There was nobody there, and it's picked up by Ruotsalainen. He gives it to Tikkanen. Tikkanen into the center ice area. Then he's checked. The puck is knocked back into the Edmonton zone with 9:14 left in the period.
Good job by the Kings staying up at the red line and forcing the Edmonton Oilers to make the plays there.
Puck flipped in. It's grabbed and held by Kelly Rudy with both Murphy and Graves driving for the net. 9:04 remains in the third. The Kings clinging to a one-goal lead.
We'll love this game forever. Play to win right from the start. But what's the use in winning? Friends are torn apart. There's nothing halfway about it. That's always been our call. It says it all.
We do know Hockey Night in Canada will be in Montreal for Game 4 of the Adams Division Final tomorrow. Thursday, though, we're not sure. If the Kings win tonight, we'll be at the Northlands Coliseum for Game 5 of the Smythe. Should the Oilers come back to win, it will be Game 5 of the Norris Final from Chicago.
Well, these Los Angeles Kings fans were subdued in the second period until their favorite hockey heroes caught fire, and they have battled back to tie it in the second and take the lead with Mike Allison's shorthanded goal in the third. John Tonelli tried to move it out, couldn't. Alkaitis tries to come out, gets it to Tonelli. Tonelli lead pass for Casper. Casper tried to slide it across for Krushelnyski. It was behind him. Krushelnyski gets it in across the line. He's knocked down. Tonelli pries it loose. Tonelli sliding it out front. It's intercepted by Graves. Graves checked at the line. McSorley fired it wide of the net. Casper takes a hit along the boards from Charlie Hunty, but the puck comes out into the center ice area. This will be an offside call as it's played in with 8:17 remaining in the hockey game.
T'as bien fait de m'appeler. toujours ce que tu veux? C'est génial.
Here we are, another LA Kings fan. That's not a member of the Adams family.
8:17 remaining in the hockey game. Tonight, the Los Angeles Kings, with 5 goals, have equaled their scoring output for the first 3 games of the series. They were shut out 7-0. They lost 6-1, and they were beaten 5-4.
And they've done it without Wayne Gretzky.
That's the amazing thing. Condos in across the line. Pass for Sandstrom. Sandstrom attempted to center it. He was checked, and back comes Mark Messier. He has Simpson with him. Messier is checked. Simpson tried to follow up in the play. He was checked by Condos. Now it's Sandstrom to the attack. Sandstrom with a shot. Knocked down by Ranford. He leaves it there for Kevin Lowe. Can't get out. Granado steals it and fired it high off the glass. 7:36 remaining in the game. 5-4. Los Angeles Kings leading the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers leading the series 3-0. Oilers right now having problems getting out of their own zone against the forechecking of the Kings.
And yet the Kings are making sure they have at least 3 people back using a triangle-style forechecking in the neutral zone.
Played up to the line, kept in by Tikkanen. Alec circles back into his own zone. Alec trying to slide it ahead for Robitaille, picked off by Ruotsalainen to Lamb. Lamb dumps it to the corner. Larry Robinson back after it. Robinson cutting out from the side of the net. To Duchesne, he clears it. Brought back by Curry. Curry puts on the brakes, takes a shot off a skate to the corner. Robitaille trying to move it along the boards, gets it over to Robinson. He's played a strong game tonight for the Kings.
And he's seen an awful lot of ice time. That time Curry had Duchesne backing up. Tried to let the quick shot go and just missed the side of the net.
Steve Smith will dump it in. Graves was tied up as he attempted to race in after it. Jelena bangs it off the boards for Graves. He couldn't deflect it past Marty McSorley. Benelli gets to the line, is stopped. They battle along the boards, tie up the puck, and it produces a whistle from referee Bob Hogarth with 6:02 remaining in this third period.
Here she comes tearing up the street. Tight curves and she moves so sweet. Come on, baby, turn up the heat. It's a look you just can't beat. Looking good to me. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good to you.
Both goaltenders have played well tonight, but the LA Kings have been able to drive to the net and create some chances in close on Bill Ranford. That's something they couldn't do in the first 3 games of this series.
Referee Ron Hogarth has had a relatively tame hockey game tonight. There were many who anticipated that it might be a very physical game, but it really hasn't been. Murphy attempted to center it. Alkitas got there, moved it along the boards. Kings can't get it out as Huddy had raced in from the point. Murphy slides it out front. Jelena couldn't get a stick on it, and back comes John Tonelli. Rink wide pass for Crowder. Tried to slip it through to Casper. Broken up by Charlie Huddy. He got it to the line, but not out. Here's Casper going for the net. Casper with a shot saved by Ranford, and Murphy takes the rebound back of the net.
That was a good save by Ranford on a good chance by Casper. He shot it quickly, pulled to the middle. Ranford just held his ground.
Graves has knocked off the puck. Murphy following up, lets a long shot go wide of the net. Duchesne gains control for the Kings. He moves it up along the boards for Granado. Too far for him. Puck slides back into the Edmonton zone. Flipped in by Krushelnyski. Back after it is Messier. Messier skates away from Samson. 4:40 remaining in the game. On the right side for Anderson, for Lowe. Lowe tried to move it in front. It goes to Anderson. Anderson looking for Simpson. He was knocked down at the side of the net. Simpson goes after the puck. He battles along the boards, trying to get it loose. He does. Messier looking to the point for Muni. He was out of position.
A good rush by the Edmonton Oilers, but Glenn Anderson tried that little pass and hit the back of the net.
Messier has it. Messier tries to jam it. Rudy held the short post. Here's Messier getting it again. A backhander. Rudy comes across to make the save. Messier coming close twice. Puck stolen by Simpson. And then the goal is knocked off its supports. And Simpson is protesting to referee Ron Hogarth that he was interfered with.
The Oilers with good pressure and the Kings with sloppy clearing. And it almost cost them.
3:53, the time remaining in the third as the Kings cling to that one-goal advantage.
New Esso ProTech engine oil with LXT. More stable, flows faster to help protect your engine even in extreme heat or cold. Puts up! 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 Puts up for ProTech! Esso ProTech. Don't wait until your car demands it.
John Muckler and his team showing some drive here in the last couple of shifts, and they haven't had much in the last 20 minutes of this game. They thought that puck was in the net. They were complaining, but the puck was out. Look at the clearing here. Rudy with 3 big saves. Now, does the net come off? They're trying to push it off. Here's a shot by Simpson. The puck is definitely not in. The arms go up. The puck's not in. Rudy made the save anyway.
3:53 left in the hockey game. 5-4. Los Angeles leading. Marty McSorley up along the board. Kudelski can't get it out. He'll try again. This time he moves it ahead to Casper. To Kudelski. And across the line with Robitaille. It was offside.
See the bouncing puck here, and that's something you get at the LA Forum late in the game. One of the worst ice surfaces. It's used so much, this building. Boxing here last night. Hockey games, basketball games. They have to practice over at Culver City. And another added problem is look at the dasher board. Most rinks, that yellow piece goes all the way to the ice. Here there's about 1.5 inches of extra plastic, and the goaltenders never know where the puck is going.
Well, the Los Angeles Kings are 3:39 away from sending this to a 5th game back in Edmonton on Thursday night. And if there is a 5th game in this series, we'll have it for you on Hockey Night in Canada. If the Oilers should come back to tie it and then win, we'll be switching to the Chicago-St. Louis battle to claim that Norris Division title. Steve Smith picks up that loose puck, dumps it in. Gary Curry tried to flip it out front as it bounced away from the Kings, but Tikkanen couldn't get to it.
It was Kelly Rudy came out to play that puck, and it took a funny hop off that dasher.
Here comes Curry. Curry drives it into the Los Angeles zone. Land kicks it to the corner. McSorley gets there, plays it along the boards, not out. They score! Tikkanen from the corner from a sharp angle. Just let the shot go, and it caught masked Kelly Rudy.
It hits Bob Halkitis, and hits Kelly Rudy's foot, and then goes in. That's a Tikkanen, yes, thank you very much. Here comes the shot from the corner. McSorley just throws it up along the boards. There's the shot from the corner, and watch it hit Halkitis. Hits Halkitis, and then hits Kelly Rudy's foot, goes in.
And that has really quieted the crowd here at the Great Western Forum.
A bad goal, and there it is. Just right through Kelly Rudy. He wasn't set for the shot. I think he was waiting for a pass.
Scored by number 10, Esa Tikkanen.
Esa Tikkanen's 8th goal of the playoffs. His main role goal in the first 3 games of the series was to shadow Wayne Gretzky, but he has also been scoring for the Edmonton Oilers.
You never know. You just fired at the net. There, the Kings didn't clear the puck. They had a chance. A soft clearing pass. Tikkanen got it, just fired it at the net, and it went in.
2:53 remaining in the third. The game tied at 5. Dumped in wide of the net. Picked up there by Larry Robinson. Up on the wing for Sandstrom. Granato racing up with him. Sandstrom shovels it in front, and Granato was tied up. Kevin Lowe has it back of the net. 2:29 showing on the clock. 5-5 the score. Messier flips it in for Simpson. Simpson for Anderson. Anderson, a backhander. That went off a skate to the corner. Picked up there by Granato. Granato, lead pass for Sandstrom. He had trouble controlling it, and Steve Smith brings it back for Edmonton. For Messier, he deflects it down into the Los Angeles zone, then goes to the bench on a change. McSorley plays it around the boards for Halkitis. Kept in at the point by Lamb. Picked up by Curry with a shot off the side of the net. Now again, the Kings having problems getting out of the zone. Finally, it's brought out by Crowder. Tikkanen dumps it up on the right side for Lamb. Lamb brings it in across the line. But he's checked there by McSorley. Puck still bouncing in that Los Angeles zone with 1:31 remaining in the period. Finally, it's dumped out. Kevin Lowe fires it back in. 5-5 the score.
The LA Kings played a strong forechecking game for the first 2 periods, then got the lead and got away from it, and now they're back on their heels defending against the Edmonton Oilers, and it's not going to work.
5-5 tie. The icing call will bring the face-off back into the Los Angeles zone.
Coach Tommy Webster calling some of his players over here, give them instructions, face-off deep in the LA zone.
30-second timeout.
The Edmonton Oilers have called a timeout with 1:13 remaining in the third. And that will give Tommy Webster an opportunity as well to talk to his team.
The Kings have to pick it up again and use that forechecking they used so well in the second period. Drive to the net and get some opportunities on Bill Ranford. It's been all Oilers here in the last 5 minutes.
Well, it looked as though it was going to go to a 5th game in Edmonton on Thursday night, with the Kings leading by a 5-4 score, but then that shot from the boards by Esa Tikkanen deflecting past Kelly Rudy to tie it.
There's the Kings bench, and they have to be down. They played pretty well. They came back from a 4-1 deficit. There's Larry Robinson getting some rest. He has logged an awful lot of ice time. He'll be out there for this key faceoff.
Tikkanen's goal coming with 2:55 remaining. Kelly Rudy was surprised by that one as it went off the skate of Bob Halkitis.
I don't think Rudy was ready for it anyway. It looked like he was expecting Tikkanen to pass. The shot was directed at the net.
Face-off to the right of Rudy. Messier out there to take the face-off. He has Simpson and Anderson with him. Steve Casper will move into the face-off circle for the Los Angeles Kings. What do you suppose John Muckler might have told Messier to do in this face-off? Drive to the net. Smith with a shot. That's fired wide. From the other point, a shot knocked down in front. Utsalainen, that would go from the point. Picked up now by Simpson. Simpson flips it in for Messier. Messier puts on the brakes. He's tied up by McSorley. Krushelnyski unable to get it out. Anderson with a shot. That goes wide. The Oilers pressuring the Kings in the final minute of this third period. Finally, Granato gets it out of the zone.
How many times did the Kings have control of that puck and were unable to get it out of their own zone?
Curry dumps it down into the Los Angeles zone. 22 seconds remaining. Duchesne flips it in high. It's whistled down as it was contacted with a high stick in the neutral area.
Phil Ranford's breathing a sigh of relief as his team came back and got that late goal. He protested the 5th LA goal. He felt the whistle should have gone. He had his hand over it. It was close. It was scrum in front of the net. The referee's discretion call again.
4 of the 5 Kings scorers tonight registered their first goal of the playoffs. The only Los Angeles player who had scored previously was Luc Robitaille. 18 seconds remaining. The draw comes back to Halkitis. Tried to dump it down the ice. It was stopped at the line. He gets it again. Trying to flip it in. It's blocked, and it looks as though we're going to be going to overtime with only 7 seconds remaining and a face-off upcoming in the neutral zone.
Hit a glove on the Edmonton bench. Tommy Webster looking up at the clock. I don't think he has to worry about the rest of this. He has to think about the overtime period and try and crank his team up again. They came out at the start of the 3rd period with some jump, scored a shorthanded goal, tried to sit on it for 19 minutes, and it's pretty hard to do against the Edmonton Oilers.
And if we are going to overtime, Dave Taylor will be joining Chris in our intermission studio, and we'll also take a look at other overtime goals and games in this 1990 Stanley Cup playoff chase.
The LA Kings fans even are a little disappointed. They thought they had this one won. A funny goal on goaltender Kelly Rudy tied it up for the Edmonton Oilers.
Short-handed goal by Allison and moved the Los Angeles Kings into a lead. They were clinging to that 1-goal advantage until Esa Tikkanen tied it with 2:55 remaining in the 3rd period, and that's the reason we're going to overtime. It started off with Messier and Anderson scoring in period 1 for a 2-0 Edmonton advantage. Then in the 2nd period, Crowder cut the deficit to 1, but Lamb and Simpson made it a 4-1 lead, and many, I'm sure, thought it was all but over. But Kudelski, Robitaille, and Tonelli tied it before the period ended. Robitaille and Tonelli scoring just 46 seconds apart late in the period. Then in the 3rd, the shorthanded goal by Allison, a lead that stood up until Tikkanen scored at 17:05. An unassisted goal and a shot from the far boards that deflected past Kelly Rudy.
Marty McSorley had time to fire that puck hard. He didn't, and Tikkanen just shot it at the net. Went through Kelly Rudy's feet. Here's another angle. Now watch. Tikkanen just shoots it at the net. Kelly Rudy opens up. It hits Marty McSorley's skate, and then Kelly Rudy's skate, and into the net. And you can see the look Kelly Rudy's giving Marty. Both unfortunate on that play.
So it's tied at 5, heading to overtime, and we'll return with our Stanley Cup coverage in just a moment.
This is a message for all the car manufacturers who've been trying to copy the...
It's ironic, Tommy Webster, his philosophy would be that, and then John Buckler, and that's the way the Oilers have always played. Let's try and end it, even if we get caught once in a while with too many men up the ice. We might give up a few 2-on-1s or 3-on-2s. Let's try and end it in the first 5 minutes.
Ruotsalainen fires it in. This will be an icing call against the Edmonton Oilers. No, there is no. Yes, there is a whistle. It's difficult to hear the whistle. Marty McSorley's starting to move out of his zone, and it is very tough to hear whistles in a noisy Great Western Forum.
You see in the playoffs, the home teams have done very well, and the LA Kings 2 games overtime against the Calgary Flames here at the Great Western Forum.
And that longest overtime game ended by Mike Krushelnyski, and that also eliminated any hopes the Calgary Flames had of repeating as Stanley Cup champions. Halkitis and McSorley are back on the points. Krushelnyski goes into the face-off circle against McTavish. McTavish ties his man up. The puck is knocked to the corner to Ruotsalainen. Tried to hit McTavish with a lead pass. It was too far for him. Back after it is McSorley. Kings have problems trying to get it out of the zone. Ruotsalainen kept it in. Now it's picked up by the Kings. They break out 4-on-3. Sandstrom attempted to slide it through. Broken up, and back comes Messier, breaking in on the wing. Messier cuts into the slot, gives it over to Anderson. Saved by Rudy.
I thought Messier might try and go in himself on Bob Halkitis. Chose to give it to Anderson, and Anderson had a good chance. And an equally good save by Kelly Rudy.
Craig Muni moves it over to Messier. His rink-wide pass almost intercepted. Knocked off the boards, fired right back in.
Here's another one of those bad hops off the glass here at the Great Western Forum.
Gary Curry fires it off the glass, knocked down by Duchesne. He flipped it in, but it's brought back out by Muni. He moves it ahead to Lamb to Tikkanen. Play broken up by the Kings. Rink-wide pass for Halkitis was intercepted. Halkitis will try again. To Robitaille. His shot. Ranford the save. The puck bounces to Kudelski. Kudelski gave it to Robitaille. Robitaille attempted to center it. Picked off by Curry.
Robitaille let that shot go from the corner, like Tommy Webster said. Just shoot it from everywhere. Make the goalie make the save.
Kings with the rink-wide pass in their own zone. Robinson moves it up to the line and out. Put back in by the Oilers. Back after it is Duchesne. He goes around to Robinson. Robinson can't move it out against Jelena. He keeps it there for Murphy. Graves is going to the net. Out to Jelena. It's fired wide. He had been knocked down just as he was getting back up. Took a swipe at that centering pass. Jelena in the corner trying to move it out. Comes to the side of the net. Rudy plays it to Alec. Alec is checked by Murphy. Good pressure by this young Edmonton line. Jelena back of the net, trying to center it. Gets it again. Jelena works to the corner, trying to get away from Alec. Robitaille comes in to help out. Now it's Robinson, checked along the boards. Finally, the Kings get it out of the zone.
And the Kings had control again and didn't just fire it around. They chose to make the play. And the Oilers were forechecking well and had some chances.
16:59 remaining in the overtime. The Kings make a change. Crowder is out there. Didn't stop Messier. Then he was stopped as he got to the blue line. Flipped back in by the Oilers. Halkitis moves it up along the boards. Crowder couldn't go anywhere with it. Anderson has it in the corner for Edmonton. He tried to play it back to the net to Simpson. Putty raced in from the point to keep it in the zone. It's loose in back of the Los Angeles net. Finally, Crowder gets it out of the zone. But it's hammered back in by Edmonton.
Half-ice hockey here as the Edmonton Oilers are forcing the LA Kings in their own zone, applying lots of pressure early.
Pinelli dodged the check from Craig Muni. Goes back of the net. Lowe gets there after the loose puck. And Kevin Lowe takes his time before moving it out into the center ice area. Puck picked up by Curry. He drops it for Messier. Messier looking back to the point. Here's the shot by Muni. It's blocked. And the Kings start back. Benning was knocked down in the neutral zone. Curry gets the puck, moves it ahead to Lamb. Lamb fakes the shot, lets it go. Saved by Rudy. 15:35 remaining in this first overtime period. The score tied at 5. A victory for the Kings will force a 5th game. Here's a lead pass for Sandstrom. Whistle on the play. It was a 2-line pass. A 5th game in Edmonton on Thursday if the Kings win. If the Edmonton Oilers win, they will sweep the series and await the winner of St. Louis, Chicago.
The Oilers are hoping that they batter each other. It's a physical series. Both those coaches, they preach tough hockey. Tommy Webster had Sandstrom high, trying to open up the Oiler defense, make them play a little deeper so the pressure would be off in their own zone. Sandstrom looking for that breakaway pass. The Oilers involved in 2 overtime games against the Winnipeg Jets. Bill Ranford in both those. 1 win and 1 loss. Dave Ellett beat him in double overtime.
Tony Granato was the overtime hero in Los Angeles, scoring that short-handed goal against the Calgary Flames.
Every shot in overtime is dangerous. Lamb fakes, tries to get Rudy moving, and then their little wrist shot. But Rudy's well out, has the angle cut down, and makes the save.
39-35, the shots on goal favoring the Los Angeles Kings. Rudy played the first 2 games of the series in Edmonton. Did not dress for game 3. Ron Scott started. He was replaced by Mario Gosselin. Bill Ranford has gone all the way in goal for the Edmonton Oilers.
Mario Gosselin's the backup goaltender for the LA Kings tonight. Kelly Rudy expressed his displeasure. He wanted to play. He said he was ready to play. He's supposed to be their money goaltender, and yet they chose to make a change. And not in game 4, in game 3.
Graves, Jelena, and Murphy are out there for Edmonton. It comes back to Ruotsalainen. His shot. Save. Rebound out front. They score! Murphy! Joe Murphy pouncing on that big rebound of the shot from the point by Reijo Ruotsalainen. And he gives the Edmonton Oilers a 6-5 overtime win and a sweep of the Smythe Division Final.
Winning faceoffs in your own zone. It's so critical. The Oilers win the draw. Ruotsalainen lets the shot go, and then Murphy. This line has worked really hard again tonight. They've had some chances. And this time Murphy beats Rudy. He's got all sorts of time in front of Rudy. Lets the wrist shot go and beats him in overtime.
At 4:42 of overtime, Joe Murphy scores to end the season of the Los Angeles Kings and move the Edmonton Oilers into the Campbell Conference Final against either the Chicago Blackhawks or the St. Louis Blues.
And a chance for the Edmonton Oilers to rest. They had a tough 7-game series against the Winnipeg Jets, and now they have a little time off.
And this line of Jelena, Murphy, and Graves logged the most ice time in the overtime session for the Edmonton Oilers, and John Muckler's faith in the youngsters was rewarded with Murphy scoring the game winner.
They had lots of chances their first shift. This was their second shift. In the first 5 minutes of overtime, the Kings getting a nice round of applause from their fans here as they go off. Larry Robinson had a strong game tonight. Kelly Rudy back in net. Not much chance on that one.
Well, without Wayne Gretzky in the lineup, along with all the other injured players who are out, Dave Taylor, Tim Waters, Rob Blake, Tom Laidlaw, it was pretty much mission impossible for the Los Angeles Kings, but they staged a valiant fight.
Here's the shot from the point from Ruotsalainen. Graves was on the faceoff, got it back to Ruotsalainen, and here's Joe Murphy, brings it out to his forehand, lets the shot go just inside the post. Great shot by Murphy, and not much chance. A good draw by Graves. He took Krushelnyski, made sure he couldn't get out to the point, and then Murphy gets the rebound and snaps it by Kelly Rudy.
Ruotsalainen and Graves drawing the assists on Joe Murphy's overtime winner at 4:42.
Here's Rudy. Now look at where this shot goes, just inside the post, and it's taken from about 15 feet out, right in the middle. Not much chance for the goaltender on that one.
So for the second straight year, after disposing of the defending Stanley Cup champions in the first round, the Los Angeles Kings bow out in the Smythe Final in 4 straight. In just a moment, our Molson 3-star selection.
We've shared good times together as the days gave way to years. My friends and me, my family, the laughter and the tears. We live life like we mean it. That's always been our call. It says it all.
Staying ahead of the competition means staying ahead of the times.
Ford trucks, the best never rest.
And with ideas like an exclusive push-button four-wheel drive system on Ranger and the most advanced electronic automatic transmission on F-Series, Ford trucks are pulling away.
Ford trucks, the best never rest.
Now get 10.9% financing or $750 cash back on Canada's best-selling trucks.
Nobody knows more about foreign and domestic exhaust systems than Midas, which means you get expert service, the Midas muffler guarantee, and a great price. And you never need an appointment. Nobody tops the Top Guns. Nobody.
The choice is yours. Go to Midas this week for brake, exhaust, or suspension work worth $80 and clean up with a $30 Black & Decker Dustbuster for only $9.99. Only until May 12th and only at Midas. Nobody tops the Top Guns. Nobody.
Joe Murphy scores the winner. The Oilers win 6-5 in overtime to take the Smythe Division final in 4 straight games. And here are the Molson 3 stars of tonight's game. The first star, Craig Simpson, had a goal and 2 assists for the Oilers. The second star was Luc Robitaille, who keyed a gritty performance by the Kings tonight with a goal and 2 assists. And the third star, the man who clinched the Smythe Division final for the Oilers in overtime, Joe Murphy, is star number 3. Stay tuned for more on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
You promised yourself you'd never buy a Foxy.
So I'm really happy.
Great series for the fourth line.
Yeah, I thought we played pretty well. We worked really hard, and we made the most of our opportunities out there, and we really contributed, I thought, and it'll just give us that much more confidence going into the next round.
Joe, congratulations again. Bill Ranford, the Kings outshot the Oilers in each of the games in this series. You came up big again.
Well, it was just one of those nights. They were shooting the puck well again, and tonight they got a few more bounces their way. The puck was hitting bodies, and they really capitalized on the chances in the second to tie it up, and we just battled back, and we got a nice little break on the tying goal, and then Joe made just a heck of a shot to send it away.
Were you concerned at all, based on the fact they came back from 3-1 last year, that here they come again?
Well, they came hard at us the last 3 games, so we knew they weren't gonna quit. They got too many guys that have been there too many times, and we just knew that we had to buckle down a little bit after that little lapse in the second period, and they are getting really confident out there. They were starting to yap at us a little bit, so I thought we needed to come out with a big win here because I think they started to get their confidence, and it might have made it tough on us.
That rest will be nice as you get ready for the Campbell Conference Championship, especially you. You've been busy.
Oh, definitely. I'm a little tired at this point, but I think everybody is. That 7-game series was just a tough grind for everybody. Now we can look at a couple days off and get everybody healthy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Joe Murphy, the hero tonight, and Bill Ranford, perhaps the MVP of this series. Our Stanley Cup playoff coverage continues in a moment. Towards a second meeting with the Bruins in 3 years, winning in Chicago to regain home ice advantage. Thursday, the Oilers appeared to own the ice as they opened up a 3-1 first-period lead. It was a rocky start for Mike Keenan, his team on the ropes, his star center down for the count. In a critical game, you expect to see stars, Once revived, Denny Savard led the Hawks to a second period revival. He displayed great playoff savvy with a goal and an assist to draw Chicago even at 3 apiece. But later in the second, an old sidekick of Wayne Gretzky moved alongside number 99 in the record book with an historic winning goal. Tonight from Chicago, it's Game 6 of the Campbell Conference Championship.
Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Gardner. Langley has it back. Langley cuts it, shoots, he scores!